Now, you see, the first thing I'll say, Claire, is I like David's sofa a bit better than yours. I'm just saying that. That would be me, and that's the sort of thing that starts a row between me and Ruth, David, that I would say, that looks really nice, and she'll say, well, you can just sit in the other room and that, because I'm not sitting on that. So the very fact, David, that your home is your castle, your palace, sort of works for you, doesn't it?
It does. I mean, Claire and I's taste in decor is definitely different. I like more retro. Claire's a bit more modern, but we don't have to compromise there, because I can do my thing, Claire does hers. I do all Claire's decorating, but she tells me what she wants on the walls.
That's nice.
So, Claire, I'm really fascinated by this, and you've been married for 16 years, is that right?
No, we're just going into our 17th year of being together.
All right, call me a liar
We've
for
been
the
married
sake
for
of 9 months.
So, whose idea? How did this come about? Did you once live together, or have you never lived together? How has this happened?
Yeah, we've never lived together. We started off, I came out of a relationship, David came out of a relationship, and we just wanted our independence for a while. And as time went on, it was just never spoken about. David would go home on an evening to his house. I'd put my feet up and watch my soaps rather than have David there moaning about them. So yeah, it's just gone on as it has and works.
But Claire, yes, OK, my wife's had her say there, but if I could have my say on this, if I, for 16, nearly 17 years, did my own thing and went back to my own place, she would be saying, I know, well, aren't I enough for him? Why does he not want to be with me full time? This doubt would creep in. Did the doubt not creep in to you that David maybe didn't want you enough?
It did initially, but probably the first couple of years we were together, I was expecting to have a normal relationship, sort of being together, working towards living together, working towards having a child together. That's how I expected it to go. And then when David would turn around and say, well, I'm going home now, I'd be, well, what do you mean you're going home? Why aren't you staying here? And he said, well, I just thought it'd be nice to have my own bed. And then I would get really, really angry with him, and we had the whole scenario of, well, would you want me to stay? And I'm saying, no, it's fine, you go home.
David,
if you don't
David,
want to stay...
Could I ask you, David, when you did decide to grant Claire her wish and stay over, was it, shall I say, extra special?
The first 10 minutes are, but then it's... They say it takes 21 days to form a habit, and when you've spent so long in a bed on your own, you get used to that, and to share it with somebody else, you know, your sleep's not as good, you wake up in a bad mood, and that's not great for anyone's relationship.
No, but, you know, you've been together a long time.
Last thing you want to do is start the morning in a bad mood.
No, nobody wants to do that. But you have a son, your son, who has some special needs. He has Down syndrome. So did it change when Jay was born? Did you then live together for a little while, or how did that work? Because I would imagine, when there's a child involved, you'd want to be together and sharing the parenting.
When we decided, or when I fell pregnant with Jay, it was never discussed. It was just going to be a case because of David working shifts. He would be around a lot of the time anyway. And then Jay came along, we found out he had Down syndrome. And I won't lie, it was a big shock to both of us, and it was a case of how are we going to manage? We've been given this child with additional needs. So that was one and only time we did discuss moving in together, because we thought it was what we would need for a child with additional needs. And then as a little bit of time went on and Jay just started cooing and giggling and trying to roll over, we thought, no, we just have a child. We don't have a child with additional needs. It's just Jay. And that whole idea of moving in together, I think it was a relief. I think neither of us spoke about it properly because we didn't particularly want it. So now, as Jay got a little bit...
Are either of you sensitive to what other people think? I mean, there must be people around you, whether they are neighbours. You know, neighbours might think you have a fancy man, Claire, who comes every now and again or whatever, you know, whatever. But are you sensitive to what people think, friends and family, David, or not?
I have a saying, never take advice off broke, unhappy people. And when the issue of trust comes up, if someone says, oh, how do you know they're not doing anything? If you wouldn't trust your partner or boyfriend or husband to live in a different house and not do anything, then maybe you're not with the right person. It's never an issue for us.
Well, do you know what? You just look very happy.
Yeah.
I don't think it's an issue for us. I think I totally get what they get out of this, and I was very happy before we moved in together. But
Actually, when you go and get your separate house, would you take that horrible reclining chair with you, please?
David, that's the thing. You can choose your own furniture, my friend. That's it. You don't have to worry about that. And do you know what, Claire? That couch does look very
looks
comfortable.
cosy.
The more I
I'm
look,
on
it looks
Claire's
very
couch.
cosy, Claire, actually. It looks very, very nice. Guys, continue to be happy and in love, doing your own thing. And I like what David says there. Don't take advice from broke or, what do you say,
Unhappy
broke or
people.
unhappy people.
Good, very good advice.
Broke or unhappy people.
Yeah, lovely to see you.
Big, good guys. Thanks a million.
See you.
It's the shameless date story which has been heard all around the world. Have you heard of, and it's actually quite hard for me to say this, pulling a pig? It's a game which involves a group of male friends going on a night out, attempting to pull the seemingly most unattractive girl.
Well, Sophie Stevenson was allegedly the victim of this cruel game after meeting a Dutch student called Jessie during a city break in Barcelona, and she joins us now along with her mother, Julie. And welcome to both of you. And oh my
You're
goodness
gorgeous,
me.
by the way.
I'm so sorry you've gone through this. I'm just so sorry. It's disgusting. I mean, it really is disgusting. And the beginning of the story started in Barcelona, as we just said, and there is a little bit of confusion in this story because Jessie disagrees about what happens in parts of this story, and we'll come on to what he has to say later. But let's start with your story. So you were in Barcelona. How did you meet him?
So basically, when we arrived in Barcelona, on the first day it was the terrorist attack. So we were on lockdown in the hotel, which obviously meant we couldn't go out. It was our choice, but obviously all the streets were cornered off and all the shops were shut. So me and my friend, we were sitting on the rooftop terrace at the hotel, and they were staying at the same hotel, and they came up, and then basically we just started chatting to them, as you do when you chat to anyone on holiday, and we just really got on with them and had a really good night.
How did it progress from there?
Well, the next day we didn't spend any time with them because we kept missing each other. But then after that, we spent every day together. We went to the beach. We, just hung out whilst we were away. And I think because of what had happened and because the guy hadn't been caught whilst we were there, me and my friend, we just felt safe around him because we thought they were all really nice guys.
And for you, this was a holiday romance?
Yeah.
Yeah. And even when you left Barcelona and you returned home, you spoke to each other on the phone.
Yeah.
And you even talked about... did you talk about having a long-term, long-distance relationship?
Well, yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't go to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Which is what we're about to get on to in a moment. How much did you speak to each other?
Every day we'd message from the moment I woke up to the moment I was going to sleep. Like, everyone that knows me knows I was talking to him because I was talking about him to my friends and family.
And
so,
what, from a mum's point of view, what did you see?
Well, I mean, I was there, when she'd say, oh, Jessie's on the phone, I'm just going to take the call upstairs. And because he felt like he was part of my family already, because then I'd say to her, well, tell Jessie your mum says hiya. And Sophie'd say, mum says hiya, Jessie. And she said then, Jessie says hiya back. So I knew he was in contact with her every day, and he'd ring at all times of the day.
So then you organise, right, OK, well, he couldn't get over to see you, so you'd pop over to Amsterdam to see him.
Yeah.
Well, his original plan was he wanted to meet her in Manchester. He was going to come over to us.
But he wasn't going to come until the end of October, and because because we were talking every day, we were telling each other we
Well, you
missed
want to
each
see him
other and
straight
stuff.
away.
Yeah, of course.
So I was like, why not? Do you know? In my head, I was like, well, if I don't see, then how am I going to know? Do you know what I mean?
So you were messaging him right up to the point you got on the plane?
Yeah, I was boarding the plane, and I was telling him, I was at the airport. I've got here okay, and he's like, I can't wait to see you. He said, I'll be at the arrivals bit when you get there. He just said, see you soon.
So you arrive, and you must be so excited, can't wait to see this boy again. And He's not there?
No,
How long did you wait at the airport for?
2.5 hours.
And did you try and contact him?
Yeah. I tried to call him, I tried to message him, I tried to message his friend, but he'd blocked me already, which I thought was weird.
Yeah, of course.
And then I first contacted my cousin at home, obviously panicking. After about 20 minutes, I started panicking, and I just said, he's not here. What am I going to do? And she was like, just stay calm, maybe he's running late, just stay calm, it'll be okay.
Well, eventually you had to get the shuttle bus. You went to the hotel because
my
you got
phone battery was going, so I needed to get there somehow.
At what point? How did he tell you those horrible words? What happened when he said what had happened?
So I think it was about 11:30 at night. I'd already spoke to my family and obviously said that he's not come. So I need to come. I was a mess. I was absolutely petrified. I was crying my eyes out, and I just wanted to go home. So I'd already changed my flight to in the morning.
Because I told her when she rang me, and obviously I'd got the missed call, and straight away at work because they knew. I said, you know, Sophie's gone to meet Jessie today, and I dropped her off in the morning. She was so excited to go in to meet him, and I just said, let me know when you've landed, and then she texted me, didn't aware me then at the time to say she'd landed and she was okay. And she was obviously thinking that he's going to turn up, he's probably running late. And then it wasn't until about 7:45 at night time, in our time, that I'd got these missed calls. And when I rang her, she said, Mum, you're not going to believe it, he's not turned up. Well, I was devastated.
Yes,
I bet you were.
What did he say to you in the final...
he finally messaged me back, and I heard the noise on my phone, and at first I thought, oh, he's going to tell me that something's happened, he's on his way or something. And then I opened the message and it said, you've been pigged, 2 pig emojis, it's all been a joke, 2 laughing faces. And then I just paused for a minute and was just like, what? And then I just replied saying, like, how can you be so cruel, though?
And then he blocked you.
And then he just blocked me.
And that was the last contact that you've had with him. So, I mean, I can't imagine what that does to your confidence, what that does to you as a girl, as a woman. How does that make you feel?
It instantly made me feel sick. And I just...
And me as a mum, I've seen what it's done to her. It's affected her terrible.
Yeah.
She hasn't wanted to come out of the house. She hasn't wanted to go to work. She hasn't wanted to leave the house at all.
Yeah.
And, you know, for me, as a mother, what he's done to her, he's knocked all the self-confidence.
It's unforgivable.
Well, he's gone to great lengths to deny it, although the story is changing as we're on air. He said, we actually met in Barcelona, but I never had a romance with her. I was in a hotel room with her, but I never slept with her. We are not and never were in love. This is fantasist rubbish and it's ruining my life. He's denied messaging you after the meeting in Spain, reported as saying he had no idea that you were going to be in Amsterdam, claimed that you'd arranged to meet, and even questioned whether you'd been travelling there in the first place, even though you've got proof that you did. And then there's another report that says, after Barcelona, I did not have any telephone contact with her. The messages contained in these tabloids are either made up by Sophie or the newspapers. I did not send them. And then today, he's admitted to a one-night stand. Did not stay the night, but there was no romance and no contact with her after they left Barcelona. It was a one-night stand, which is more than he said in that first statement, and apparently there is another statement coming out in an hour or so. What do you feel about him now that he hasn't, if he's done this, hasn't manned up and said, I'm sorry, I'm the pig?
Like, it upsets me more because
he's trying to make out that she's lying. What would we gain out of coming here today to make a whole story up? I've been there when she's been on the phone to him, and he knows I have because he's shouted Aya back to me. So am I lying as well, then?
The only reason why I have said about this, it's embarrassing, it's humiliating. The only reason why I've done this is because I don't want this to happen to other girls. If I want other girls to think twice before they do it, I want them to, you know, because...
How would you have known, though? What could you look for? Where was the hint? Where was the clue that this guy was this guy?
And, you know, and at the end of the day, if he wants to live with what he's saying, we know what's the truth, and he knows what's the truth. And it's come and bit him on the backside, in my eyes, with what he's done.
And you've had huge amounts of support, not just in this country, but
and
worldwide.
I want to thank people for the kind
Absolutely.
regards that they have said.
Honestly, I still haven't even been able to get through all the messages. It's constant.
Wow.
Everyone has been
She's had a
so
lot of support,
nice.
and that, to me, has made her feel better about herself, because she is beautiful. She's my daughter, and, you know...
Absolutely.
I also feel that other people have been able to now say of things like this happening to them.
Yeah, and,
No,
there's terrifyingly sad stories here. Teresa says, this happened to me once. I was at a club, got asked to dance, being extremely shy at the time. I said, no thanks. He then said, well, thanks to you. He'd lost the bet and wouldn't get the fiver. His mates had bet him to dance with the fattest girl in the room. I was devastated.
Cruel. Absolutely.
Charlotte says, I
cruel
haven't been a
people.
victim to this, but as a larger lady on the dating scene, I know how worried that I would be. The only pig in the story is him, says Perry. How awful to lead someone on like that. What is the point? Guys should learn to treat all women with respect, says Julie.
Well, move on. That's it. Draw a line. Do not let this affect you. Don't let someone as horrible as him change the way you live your life. That's
No,
it.
I think
Done.
all the comments off everyone's really
Yeah.
helping me, so
And we'll finish as the way we started. You're lovely.
Yeah.
thank you.
In the last half hour, his lawyers have released a statement saying that Jessie denies playing the pull-a-pig game on Sophie. He also contradicts her mother's claim that he called Sophie after her holiday in Spain, has no recollection of sending a text saying, you've pulled a pig. But if he had, it must have referred to their sexual encounter, whatever that means, and not Sophie's appearance. Mr. Makeman is now holding Sophie liable for all future damages he suffers as a result of her actions. Interestingly, we've seen screen grabs. We can't show them because it shows his number, or a number that is alleged to be his. Very long conversations. We texted that number, and the person at the end of that number said, contact my lawyer. So it certainly is a... and he's now, allegedly, would be calling her mother a liar as well.
One Donald isn't enough for us today. We can actually, via satellite, cross to America and we can talk to another Mr. Trump.
How are we going to do that?
Who there is
Who's
joining
that?
us. Well, that is you, alongside wife Melania.
How is that happening?
Well, it is
Good
happening.
morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Trump. A big day ahead of you.
I'm so excited to be back on the show, I have to tell you. It's going to be absolutely tremendous.
This is a big day.
It is a
Very
big
excited.
day. A big day, and you'll be on the steps of, that beautiful Capitol building. The West
The
Front.
U.S. Capitol. It's the U.S. Capitol. I just bought it. It's going to be tremendous.
Washington,
Listen, I
where
did
it's gonna
something
be.
very exciting.
It's going to be
I
tremendous.
bought the naming
It's
rights
gonna be
to
exciting.
Washington, D.C. It's going to be now
Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.T. So it's going to be Washington Donald Trump. It's
Donald
going to be
Trump.
absolutely
That's a
incredible,
beautiful thing.
believe me.
What about the entertainment there? Because we're hearing stories over here in the UK that nobody really wants to be there entertaining you today, Mr. Trump.
Oh, last night was beautiful. We had all the cowboys. We all had all the country music. It was fantastic.
We had huge acts. Some of the
Beautiful
biggest
outcome.
names in the music industry. We had Three Doors Down. They're tremendous. They're like the American Beach Boys.
Can I just
Everybody
say,
came.
you never had Chaz and Dave.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
They did.
true. Yeah.
I have
That's
no
very
idea who they are. So the fact that they
They're
weren't
big.
there is a
They
good thing.
are big in the UK.
true. Yeah, Donald, is it true you're not using a Bible for the swearing-in ceremony?
Nope. I'm using Art of the Deal. It's a tremendous book, and the sales for it are going to go absolutely through the roof, right?
I don't know. I don't like when Donut swears.
No, well, she doesn't like when I swear, but we're going to swear in, and I'm not going to curse. So.
That's a beautiful thing.
And Melania, every First Lady has a cause. What will yours be?
Women, children, Humanity in general.
Well, also something that I've suggested, starvation. I think starvation's very important, and she starves herself.
We're not going to talk about it.
Well, you have to starve yourself so you can look hot. So she's going to starve herself and tell other women to starve themselves so they can look hot. That's tremendous.
He's right.
Interesting message. Well, listen, we know you've got a very, very busy morning ahead of you. We hope all goes well with your inauguration. We'll be watching it here.
Huge morning.
Huge day.
Lovely to see you, John Di Domenico and Mira Zur. Thank you both very much indeed. Thank you for your
that
time.
wasn't Donald.
Thank you, guys.
No.
I can't believe
And
that.
indeed, we've
got the real, because we've got the real Donald.
Well, except it's not. It's impressionist Mike Osmond.
I've got to tell you too. I've got to tell you too. Sorry.
Does that hurt your mouth?
No, just hold them, would you? Yeah.
You've had those specially made?
Yeah, I had them specially made, the wig, the contacts, all sorts. It's just been crazy.
Do you think he's had his hair specially made?
No, I don't. I think it's real.
You think it's real? What is yours made from?
It's not yak hair.
It's not?
No, it's real human hair.
Yeah.
How long does it take you to get to be Donald Trump?
6 weeks. No, it's about an hour and a half all told, with makeup and then hair and, and all the suit and the tie.
Mike,
Very long tie.
You got to have one. It keeps things warm, Ruth.
It is strange. Has he got no friends or a stylist that tells him his tie is too long?
It is.
We've all done it. We've all sort of, by accident, maybe
Too
tied
short
it wrongly.
or too long, slightly too long, but this long? No, it don't work, Donald.
Mike, what is this going to mean for you in terms of work? Because, I mean, this is heaven sent for you.
4 years of work.
Yeah, well, let's hope so, unless anyone shoots him. Please do not shoot Donald. I'll tell you the one thing that I've noticed, Eamon, it's been really crazy. So I do the act and I do 20 minutes of Donald Trump and then I go into impressions. Eamon Kelly, you were on the show. 2004, you won 32 grand. And then 2013, you won 50K. That was good work, Eamon. Yeah. See what I mean? So how strange it is doing... Hello, it's so lovely. So lovely. I'm so excited to be on the couch. Look at me. I look so stupid. So excited to be on the couch. Ruth, I'm going to ask you, Ruth, when you fill the car up with petrol, and you've got the nozzle, and you finish filling it up, do you give it a shake? Or is it just a man thing? I don't know. I just wondered. It made me laugh.
I love it. And how about the hand movements?
You got to get all those gestures, so you like that and like that and like that. And, I'm not sexist, by the way. I got to say this. And I've got to tell you that Google is one of the most powerful women in the world. And I know that Google is a woman because she won't let you won't let you finish his sentence before giving the answer. So we know that's female. It's female.
Quick mucker of yours, right? As Donald Trump dressed up. Jimmy Nesbitt, fine actor.
Yeah.
Well, it's lovely. What an absolute treat to be here. Eamon, Holmes and the lovely Ruth. Lovely to be here. I've got to tell you that I've just discovered that my wife enjoys sex more when she's on holiday, which, if I'm honest, was a bit of an awkward postcard to receive.
Well,
laughing on the floor is always a good sign, Eamon.
Well, listen, Mike, we hope there's at least 4 years' work there for you. Who knows
so
beyond?
Nice to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Have a good presidency, Mike.
Yeah.
I'm going to Eamon.
I'm sure we'll be seeing a lot more of you.
That's good.
Thank you, Mike Osmond.
Thank you.
Donald Trump.
If you enjoyed that, there's more of the same right here. And make sure you subscribe so that you never miss the best moments from this morning.
Now, the nation is still celebrating. It's a little bit foggy and hungover still after Chloe Kelly's incredible penalty, which secured the Lionesses' victory over Spain and brought football home again.
Oh, it gives you chills every time, doesn't it? As we wait for the team's homecoming here in London, Jenny Faulkner is on the mall. Morning, Jenny.
They have had quite the few days, haven't they? I mean, I'm not even English, and I'm completely in awe of them. Anyway, we're out here today because the Lionesses are doing our victory parade. They're setting off from Horse Guards Parade, which is just a stone's throw that way. They're then going to make their way on open-top buses all the way down the Mall. I will show you that later. It is heaving. It is full of fans that have travelled from far and wide just to be here to show their support and utter appreciation for these most amazing girls. And also, right beside me here, I have a couple of guys who have also been getting involved in the partying and celebration. Forget wags, by the way. We have the babs, the brothers and boyfriends. Okay, so first up, we have obviously got a couple of star players in the team. We've got Ella Toom, we also have Alicia Russell, and this is Ella's boyfriend Joe, and this is Alicia's brother Giorgio. Lovely to have you both here.
Lovely to be here.
Has it stopped for you guys?
Not at all, no. It's been constant, hasn't it? It's been good fun. I'm sleep deprived, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, the whole nation, everyone was on the edge of their seats, and then Chloe scored that winning amazing penalty. And then what was it like where you were?
Oh, it was crazy. I mean, the emotions from probably the quarter-final. I think I've just been up and down, and I'm sure everyone at home's been having heart attacks, but no, listen, they found a way to get over the line.
Where were you two watching?
So I didn't see any of the group games, but we were watching just behind the dugout from Sweden onwards.
Okay, fine. So you were right there.
Yep.
And can we say, according to all the papers, it's just been one big party ever since. Is this right?
It has.
Yeah, to say the least.
I think they deserve it.
So straight after winning on Sunday, am I right in saying it was a 4 a.m. finish?
5 a.m.
I should say that's a little bit early for
corrected. I stand corrected. And then flew back yesterday, and obviously the girls went to Downing Street. And then what did you do last night?
Went out again.
I continued, yeah.
And then this morning you had to get up a little bit early. I'm sorry to make you get up to come down here. But thank you so much. So how are they feeling? How's Ella?
It's crazy. We were chatting to him last night, me and Joe, and he was just saying I don't think it's quite sunk in for him yet. It happened obviously in 2022. I don't think it sinks in until probably a week or two after. I'd like to think obviously when they come here today and see all these people that have come out, it'll really sink in on what they've done for the nation.
And it's actually been quite a moving time. It's quite a challenging time for Ella as well, because, well, we've all heard the heartbreaking news that she lost her dad last September. How has it been for her?
It's been tough. It's been a tough year for all of us as well. Obviously, Gio and Russo's and that, we all get on, and we all knew Nick real well. He was a big part of obviously the England FNF, as we call it, the Friends and Family. So yeah, it's been a big loss, but obviously he's looking down. He's won that for a reason. So it's mad. Yeah, crazy, tough year for Elle, but inspiration for everybody that obviously is going through something similar.
Absolutely, and also quite an interesting time for you, because you have been in the Casa d'Amor, in Love Island, and you left actually. Was that all part of the plan? Leave early, go watch football?
Well, they don't tell you anything in the villa, so I didn't know what was happening. But yeah, I mean, it couldn't have worked out any better way to be here and come support the girls, and still have had the best experience on the show. So yeah.
So, I mean, it's crazy for you. So not only are you coming and being part of this, but then you have to fly back to Mallorca after this.
I do, yeah. So, yeah, it'll be good. We'll see. Get that out of the way and then go from there.
It's a jet-set summer, isn't it? But the most incredible thing is that the girls, the whole team, have inspired everyone, haven't they?
Yeah, they really have. Yeah, it's been incredible.
It has been
so proud. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Anyway, look, Gio, thank you so much. Back to you guys.
Thank you. More from the Mail later on.
I love it.
I love it. And I always think, God, I'm so impressed with how they put it up so quickly.
Yeah, I know. Did you?
The infrastructure of it all.
You're so right. I wish the sun had his hat on for them now. It's a little bit grey. We need to brighten it up a little bit.
But, I mean, they deserve every bit of it, though, don't they?
They do, and everyone's still getting in touch.
I always love the fact, but I love the way they turned up to Downing Street. You can tell they're all just tiny little bit hungover now.
Do you imagine that big win and then being a little bit worse where, of course you are, getting on a flight, no one wants to do that,
No.
but when they're hanging, and then also having to go to Downing Street, it's like...
The trophy going through security, like, can I just go home and have a shower? Yeah, absolutely.
That's all I wanted. Welcome back.
Following their huge win on Sunday, the Lionesses are now back from Switzerland and heading out for their victory parade in central London. Look at them there. Look.
Yeah, we're just going to enjoy some live shots now where the heroes are making their way down the Mall towards Buckingham Palace. There we go. So leading the procession, the band of the Royal Marines Portsmouth, leading the open-top bus procession down the Mall, the central band of the Royal Air Force, oh, they're all getting in on it, will be on stage at the Queen Victoria Memorial until Serena Wigman's team arrive. The RAF band will be performing in front of the stage and on it throughout the ceremony, hosted by lovely Alex Scott.
Yes.
I mean, Alex Scott's like, I do Soccer Red with Alex, and she's obviously Arsenal legend, won 140 caps,
Yes.
England international broadcaster, and then the Royal Mood Drummers will escort the trophy onto the stage during the celebration, which is going to kick off at 12:15 and finish at 1 o'clock.
Just incredible. What a moment.
And hopefully we will be back in just a few minutes with Jenny Faulkner speaking to some of the crowd down there very soon.
Following their Euros victory, the Lionesses are currently enjoying a victory parade down the Mall in central London.
And Jenny Faulkner's been meeting the crowds. Hey, Jenny.
Hiya.
Well, I'm here. I'm still here. It's a bit quieter, which is strange, because look at this lot. Why are you so quiet? I thought you were singing a minute ago. So I'm here. This is Buckingham Palace. This is the Mall. And all the Lionesses are going to head their way down on open-top buses down to the stage down there very soon indeed. And it's not surprising. Look how many thousands of people have turned up to show their support and appreciation for, quite simply, a phenomenal team. Now, obviously, everyone's come from near and far. Why don't we get a song to start things off? Which one? Sweet Caroline? Sweet Caroline, pop, pop, pop. Good times never seem so good. So good, so good, so good. Okay, so let's just find out where people have come from. Where have you come from today?
Cambridge.
Cambridge. Why is it you've come down here?
Oh, to support women. Women supporting women. You've got to be here.
I agree with that. I agree. How about you? Where are you from?
Hertfordshire.
Okay, and what is it that's inspired you about the girls?
I think just the way they persevered, they never gave up, they always showed fight during every single game. Like, I never doubted them, and you could see they didn't doubt themselves.
I mean, it was edge of seat stuff, wasn't it?
It's nail-biting stuff.
I know. Where were you when you were watching it?
I was at home, actually. So, but yeah, with the family and just biting my nails and everything. They do. But they were amazing. They were
so
amazing.
tense.
It was so tense. So tense. I didn't make it easy.
I know. They did. Do you think that them winning has made a difference to women's football?
Yes, definitely. We've just taken up walking football. We're really loving it. So it's not just the youngsters that are being inspired too.
We're of the generation that weren't allowed to play football when we were in school. I wanted to, but was never allowed to. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
See, and I think a football shirt suits you as well.
I wear football shirts all the time, but was never allowed to play.
That's it. Where have you come from? You're all dressed to the nines.
We're from St Albans. We play football for St Albans City FC.
Yeah. So have you noticed a difference in women's football, playing football, since the Lionesses have really come to the forefront?
Huge difference. Just putting the spotlight. The team's done amazing things. Serena's done amazing things. Putting the spotlight on women's football. It's now just the norm. It's on TV. The exposure's incredible, and all the children at our schools, like, they know it's on. They know the names. They've got the shirts on. It's amazing to see.
Well, then, can I ask you, are more girls than ever trying to take up football as well?
100%. We actually do the football clubs at our schools as well, and we've got 40 girls in 1 year group coming along and joining in. So yeah, I love it. Constantly growing.
Okay, I love it. It's amazing, isn't it? Thank you so much. Let's ask you, where have you come from today?
Norwich.
Norwich. And look, I love the fact that you're here. Who are you supporting? Who's your favourite?
Mine's Grace Clinton, but obviously we're here to support every single one of them because they're just inspirational. They're just so inspirational.
And what is it that you like so much about the Lionesses?
They inspire every single generation, not just the younger ones, but every single generation now and future and before, and it's just incredible to watch, and they're absolutely incredible.
Yeah. There are so many people here, all out to support. It's coming home, it's coming, football's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming home, it's coming home.
Love it.
Nice.
I love it.
Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you, Jenny.
We have got some more live pictures now from that victory parade on the Mall. The open-top bus is stopped just outside Buckingham Palace, where the Lionesses are getting ready to get on stage. We have the live feed now from the Mall.
Look at that shot. Look at it. We're getting closer. Look, we need. There you go. There's the band of His Majesty's Royal Marines there. Look.
The RAF band as well. Hey, they're playing Free From Desire.
This is just the perfect
And you're seeing
way.
pictures now of the Mall there, the Queen Victoria Monument, all the way down there to Admiralty Arch and the crowd filtering through up to Buckingham Palace with the skyline just behind them there of Blackfriars, Big Ben and St Paul's. Lovely stuff.
Oh, it's so special.
Nice. Oh, what a shot. Thank you so much for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every single day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the morning.
So last September, the goal was to be £1,000. That's 71 stone in our money. For anyone who didn't see that then, why? Why did you want to be that big?
It was kind of a fantasy, and just wanted to feel like a queen, I guess.
And a very large queen. And so, what made you decide that wasn't the route that you wanted to take? That you wanted, in fact, to start losing weight?
After my 2 miscarriages, and knowing that I want to have a family, once I got pregnant this 3rd time,
we kind of sat down and had a discussion. Well, what's the, what do we feel like the main cause is?
Yeah. So that's where it all stemmed
what can
from.
we do to prevent this from happening in the future?
Did you pin down what the main cause was? Was the funnel feeding might probably have been part of it?
Yeah, pretty much all of it was just how much I was eating and what I was eating.
Yeah, and
definitely.
I mean, this has been incredibly painful for you, Monica, and also for you, Sid, to watch her going through this, because with the 2 miscarriages, I mean, it's a horrible thing for anybody to go through, and there was a lot of pain there.
Yeah, and I think what exacerbated that a little bit was the fact that people were like wishing this on us.
Yeah.
And so then obviously the decision is made for the health of you and the health of your baby, that you would start to lose weight. So how did you change your diet? What have you done?
I've completely changed everything.
Pretty much a complete overhaul.
Yeah. Now I eat like vegetables, chicken, a few carbs with every meal. I eat like 3 meals and 3 snacks a day. Very little portions, about 2,000 calories a day.
And so what have the doctors said? Have they recommended a target weight?
No, I don't have a target weight. They even said like I'm never going to be skinny. I'm always going to be big. We're just trying to get me in a more healthier area, I guess you could say. But my doctor doesn't fully recommend to lose a lot of weight at this moment. We're just trying to, have me eating better at the moment.
Because at the moment, the weight as you stand at the moment, you've lost 15 stones, which is very admirable, but you are still classified as a high-risk pregnancy, and this is not going to be plain sailing for you, is it?
No.
They're actually going to induce her 5 weeks early.
Yeah.
And what about the reaction online? Because you certainly said that after the interview that we did last time that people were very quick to judge and judge harshly.
Yeah.
I mean, people were telling us we were mentally retarded. People were telling us that we deserved to be killed.
Yeah.
And how did that make you feel?
Who says that? I mean, I just no faith in humanity at all.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was bad.
Who says that? Like, I don't understand. I would never tell anyone that.
Are you nervous about coming back on today and the reaction you might get after this, or do you feel much more positive this time?
To be honest, as far as like me, I've already seen some of the reactions to the story, and it's like people aren't even paying attention to what the story's about.
Yeah.
Like they're like, I can't believe she's gaining weight. Like, are you even paying attention?
Yeah.
That's complete opposite of what's going on now. Like, what?
Yeah. Well, listen, hopefully we've cleared up a little bit of that. Congratulations on that weight loss.
And good luck, both of you. And Monica, good luck with your weight loss as well, because you're doing well. 15 stone there's a lot of weight to lose. I know there's a way to go, but you're, little steps. Well done.
Yeah, baby's due on November the 18th, so you say it's going to be 5 weeks early to be induced, so that's October the 21st, more or less. So we'll be crossing our fingers on the 21st, and thank you very much indeed for talking to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys.
Now, for most grown-ups, playing with dolls is a distant memory, but not for our next guest this morning. This is Jade Smith, and dressing as a doll is an important part of helping her forget and live with the pain that she suffers from fibromyalgia. Fibromyalgia. But it costs her quite a lot of money, but she thinks it's all worth it. Good morning. Tell us what fibromyalgia is and why it causes you so much pain.
It's basically like arthritis, but it affects all my joints, all my muscles, pretty much everything in my body. It causes fatigue, insomnia. I get really severe migraines as well.
And how long have you had it, Jade?
I've had it since I was 5 years old.
Oh, it's a long time.
Bad news, awful thing. And your escape is through dressing as a doll. And what are your... When did this start? When did you first have this affinity and this desire to do this?
I first started dressing like this when I was 11 years old. I discovered it at an anime convention when I went to cosplay, and from then on I just decided that I wanted to be a doll.
Well, stand up and give us a twirl here, and we'll just see. Look at this. And what is this particular outfit that you've got on here?
This is my sugary carnival dress, and I've got some tea party shoes on, white knee-high socks, and I've of course got my wig and my pearl tiara.
And we can see behind you a great rail of clothes there. It's an amazing kind of dressing up box. These look expensive, Jade. Where do you get them? Do they have to be made for you?
Some are specially made, others are imported from Japan and Korea. Some I've actually designed myself, like this Cinderella one, and that long dress over there, I hand drew all the design and screen printed it myself.
So there's a real community out there for this, is there?
Yeah, there's quite a few people who join up and meet up every now and then who will dress like me.
So how often do you dress like this? Is this something when you go to a convention, or are you doing this every day?
I'm doing it pretty much every day when I'm not working, when I've got a spare minute, or like when I'm going out to see friends.
And when you say it helps you, how does it help you? How does it make you feel?
It makes me feel happy, and it helps distract me from the fact that I'm in pain all the time, because for just a few minutes people are smiling at me and I can feel like their happiness.
Yeah, what is your reaction when you go out?
Jade, I can see what you've just described there. I can see, because you come alive when we talk about your subject and what you're into. And I actually knew this from my own pain, which I've suffered over the past few years. When you get a distraction, when there's something that takes you over, in my case football or something, and you forget for 10 minutes, and then suddenly you realise, oh, that pain's still there. But it is an amazing relief, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a really good relief because there's no cure for fibromyalgia, and most pain medications don't work for it. I'm taking quite a few medications right now to try, but my only hope is that they find a cure eventually.
Mm-hmm. And what about, because you've got a collection of dolls yourself, haven't you?
Yes,
What kind of dolls do you collect, and how many have you got?
I collect porcelain dolls, bisque dolls, ball-jointed dolls, and quite a few Disney-related dolls as well.
So do you base your look? So do you take maybe one of those dolls and go, I'm going to look like that doll today, or I want to look like this one?
Some of my dolls I do. They've all pretty much got blue eyes and blonde hair, which is pretty much what I aim for.
How much money do you think you've spent over the years on all these things?
About £20,000. I've spent like £8,000 on shoes because I've got over 40 pairs.
Yeah, but this is a collection. This is probably a collection you could trade if you want to. And when you mention dolls, the most famous doll that springs to mind are Barbie doll, Ken doll. Are these, do they have an influence on your life, or is it more specialist than that?
I do collect Barbies, and I love more the vintage Barbies than the modern Barbies because they go more with my look, and they're often paler skin and more blue eyes and blonde hair.
Because you live with your families, your parents still, don't you? Yeah. So what do they make of this? Are they happy for you to be doing this in their house with this huge collection that's getting bigger and bigger?
They kind of have accepted it now, but they still wish that I would cut down on my collection and possibly get a smaller wardrobe.
Yeah. How much time do you spend as Jade the doll and Jade the person? I mean, how much of your day is spent dressed as a doll?
I think about 50-50. Most of the time it's pretty much just myself. But whether getting ready and everything, it takes me so long, so I spend more time as me the person than
And we're seeing
me the
you there
doll.
walking about. What reaction do you get when you go out shopping?
People take photos with me and they say nice comments, and some shout mean comments at me, but I get used to it after a while.
You rise above that. More nice than mean.
Yeah,
People are more
definitely.
interested.
Yeah.
And how long does it take you to get dressed up like this?
It can take me 4 to 6 hours because of my condition. I struggle putting makeup on and doing buttons up, and even tying bows really hurts. And even putting my shoes on, I can't do buckles that well. I have to have pop-on shoes.
But you do your makeup very well.
Thank you.
And you're happy today. We can see you're happy today.
Aged just 15, Rhea Cooper became the UK's youngest person to change gender. But 3 years later, Rhea, who was born Brad, made the decision to transition back to being a man.
5 years on, Rhea is more certain that she is living in the wrong body, and she's preparing to go under the knife once again. Rhea, what a journey. What a journey. And you've attracted a bit of criticism from some people who are basically saying to you, make up your mind. If they were in your shoes, what would you say to them?
It's just hard, it's difficult. It was horrible going through like all the negative things what people were saying. I never once changed back to a man. I was 18, I was going through a really bad patch. I was like depressed. I was getting loads of horrible, I can't remember words. It was horrible what people were saying to me, death threats, saying to me, go and kill yourself. I was in a really bad relationship and I just had enough. I thought, if I go back to being a boy...
Why would people be so unsympathetic towards your confusion, if I could put it like that? Why would they begrudge you that?
I think it's because I was so young and they was judging me on that, saying I'm confused, you're too young to make like the change at that life.
You were how old then? 15?
I was 15, yeah.
And what is that like? I mean, just put that back to someone who's criticising you. So you're a 15-year-old boy, except you're not sure you want to be a boy. Just explain to people what that feels like.
how you were feeling inside.
I just knew I wanted to be a girl, and from being young, 5, 6, like growing up, I always wanted to be a girl.
And it was other people who had the problems, other people who were begrudging you that.
Yeah, it's everybody had a problem with it.
And it's not even like you say wanting to be a girl, it's like really feeling, genuinely feeling that you are in the wrong body. Can you remember when you first felt like that?
Yeah, I was so young. I was about 5, because like all my sisters, I never wanted to play with the boys. My boys' toys, I always wanted makeup on, I used to put my mum's makeup on. And just from there, and being like 14, 13 when I changed.
Do you know what amazes me, Ray? It's that anybody would think that that is an easy decision to make. Do you know what? I think I'll be a girl next week, I'll be a boy the week out. They actually, who would actually think that that's a decision you would take lightly?
It's not even a decision, I just knew I wanted to be a female at that age.
How hard has the journey been for you?
It's been horrible, horrible. Like, people say that, well, I used to say people's opinions didn't affect me, but they really did. They got me down. There was days I didn't leave the house, got real bad depression. It was horrible.
So you made that decision when you were 15 years old that you did not want to live as a boy anymore.
Yeah.
You got support from your family. What was it then that you found you couldn't deal with that made you then say, well, I'm going to have to just go back and be Brad again?
It was more like, when I was 18, like I said, I was really depressed and I was struggling to find work. No one gave me a job. And then my documentary was out when I was 18 and that like kind of ruined my life from there. And no one would give me a job because of the documentary and because of who I was. And I think I just had enough and I just thought, well, my life would be much better if I went back to being a boy. And
how was that then, going back into
It was horrible. It was the worst decision I ever made. Like, I put boys' clothes and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I should be happy. I need to do this for me. Why please other people?
How long did you go back and
literally,
live as Brad?
I put boys' clothes and I was like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Did you then, at home, in the privacy of your home,
Yeah, it was.
were you then Rhea and dressed as a woman, but when you were out in public, you went back to being Brad?
No, I was at home and I was like, I'm going to go back to being a boy, and I tried putting the male clothes and I just couldn't do it. So it was just like, literally, like the papers are saying it, I went back to being a boy, then a girl. It was nothing like that. It was just, I thought, will it be a lot better if I did go back to being a boy? But I didn't go back to being a boy.
So it reaffirmed, in a way, your decision that you made when you were so young, that this is definitely what you wanted, however
100%.
difficult that road was going to be for you to travel.
It's been worth it now to where I am at the moment in my life. I'm so happy. I couldn't be happier.
That's nice to hear. That's nice to hear that. Right, you're 23.
Yeah.
And how would you describe now where you're at and the journey that lies ahead? At least you're going to face that now with total confidence. You're totally sure now this is definitely the right thing.
I've always
no matter
been
what anyone
sure.
says.
Yeah, I've always been sure that I wanted to be female. I was doing it to please other people. And now I'm happy now where I am at the moment. My life's great. Focusing on getting my own business and other things.
And what about surgery and things? What's ahead of you in that respect?
So I had my boobs done 3 weeks ago, and I'm getting more surgery in December and then next year.
And there's also a bit of confusion, I should point out as well. I think some of the criticism you're getting from people is saying, oh, what are you clogging up the medical system and whatever doing all this for? You were very independent on this, weren't you?
Yeah, the NHS hasn't funded nothing. I was funded the money by somebody else to get my boobs done, as well as my other surgery. So.
And what about the future now? How do you see your future as Rhea? Are you looking for love in your life? Would you like a partner?
I am looking for love, but love will come to me. You know, I want to focus on me, getting my life back on track. Like, I've not got depression. I'm just me, and I want to get my own business and go from there, really.
What do you want to do for your business?
Beauty. I want to help other people who are transitioning, like younger people, because I've had a lot of tweets from like 15-year-old kids who are scared to come out. So I'd like to open a salon and do makeovers for them.
And what advice do you give those youngsters who get in touch with you?
Yeah, because it seems to me, us, you know, we've interviewed you before, many years ago.
Yeah.
And we've interviewed a lot of people and we've seen people's journey. It would seem to us that the country seems to be more enlightened about this, more accepting about this, but you can only speak as you find, and you find a bit differently. How more enlightened do you think we are or not?
And it's more known now than it was when I come out. It was a struggle for me, but there's a lot more coming out, a lot more younger people.
Do you think society generally is becoming more accepting?
Yeah, but you'll always get your negative people, no matter what.
Jack joins us now. Jack, thank you for coming on the show this morning.
Morning.
It's obviously a very difficult time for you. You've been through an awful lot. I wonder, firstly, how you're doing, how you're feeling right now?
Yeah, really good, really good. And I think being in such a good place now, you know, in a good relationship and, you know, being mentally strong is why I'm able to talk about it. Because I think before, you know, things would go wrong or I'd do something or something bad would happen. And I couldn't handle it, so I was always off, you know, drinking, taking drugs and things like that. So it was masking. I never actually dealt with the problems that I had and the issues that I had head on. And a lot of the time, I thought I didn't have a problem. I assumed I didn't have a problem. And, you know, from, I'd say, probably the age of 18, this has been an ongoing issue, but never, you know, unfortunately, you know, since being on TV, those mistakes are now public. They're not stuff that you could deal with behind closed doors. It's stuff that I've done, but now everyone knows about. It's not something that I could keep back.
So you've always, I think what you've said is you always felt like this was in you.
Yeah.
Maybe the opportunity to become well known and be on television has accelerated that. But regardless of being on telly, this probably would have happened at some point. You would have ended up with a gambling problem and drug problem and drink problem.
I mean, for me, yeah. I mean, no matter how I ended up with money, this would have happened regardless. No matter what the scenario was, it would have happened regardless. I would say having money in abundance quite quickly accelerated it, but this would have happened anyway, you know. And the amount of opportunities that I've messed up due to this, but then would not confront it and actually say, I've actually got a problem here, you know, I would just try and go on to the next thing, or I'd let someone down and burn some bridges. But I didn't want to burn those bridges. I'd let these people down and then go on to the next thing, and all of a sudden there's no one left to fall back on. There was nothing more to salvage. I mean, I used to come up here all the time and do the competitions with Andy Peters and stuff, and I loved it. Like, it was amazing, but unfortunately, you know, due to me, you know, not turning up for things and being unreliable, them opportunities that went. So no matter where they come from, those opportunities, I would have ruined whatever it was. Whether it's selling my office supplies, if I got a huge client, I probably would have messed up going to a meeting with them. You know, but I wasn't able to actually confront these issues head on. But I feel like now I really am in a place to do that. You know.
And is that one of the reasons why you're doing this now and why you're talking about it now? It's almost that sense, I suppose, of accountability, I guess. That the fact that if you sit here now and you say it, you're going to stick to it. That's what we all want you to do.
With that, the reason that I wanted to talk about it like this is because I do want to hold myself accountable, because there's been a few different times that I, you know, would kind of say, oh yeah, I'm changing now, I'm really sorry for doing this, but I had no real intention of changing because I hadn't been dealing with the issues. And I thought, look, if you've got some fame and you've got a platform and you're well known, rather than it just be flooded with me having a sob story and crying and saying I'm sorry all the time, why not say, do you know what? Hold my hands up and say, look, I did make these mistakes, I did have these problems, you know, I was taking drugs, I was letting people down, but let's change the narrative now and use that platform rather than let it be full up with all this negative stuff. Let people say, do you know what? If he can do it, if he can have all these opportunities, if he can have all this money, lose it all down to what he was doing and turn it around, why can't I? You know, because there's a lot of eyes on it and I want it to be something positive now. I'm bored of myself. I'm sick and tired of myself, you know, keep saying I'm sorry and doing all these things, but making the same mistake over and over again. I think that's a lot of what addiction is. It's just it's like insanity. It's like doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting a different result. I'd have arguments with myself and say, this time round it'll be different. You know, you will make it tomorrow, but it never was the case.
How bad did it get, Jack? I mean,
it was awful, and it was always like, you know, it started out, you know, you just have a drink, and then you end up taking other drugs, and then because you've taken so many of those, then I'll take others to go to sleep, and it's this cycle, and then you'd be all right for a few days. And that's why I always thought this isn't a problem, because I'd have a few days off in between.
Yeah.
But then what had happened is I discovered another drug, which is an anti-anxiety drug, and I'd start, and then I become physically addicted to that. That's why I went to rehab. I become physically addicted. I never experienced physical addiction, you know, like experiencing, you know, withdrawals and things like that. And it was like, mate, like, how many times do you have to do this? And I think, you know, my family and my relationships and Chloe, they're all so supportive, but how much more have they got? How many more times are they going to be like, do you know what, Jack, yeah, it's okay, we'll get through this? There's got to be a point where they say, this is it now. And I think it got to that point where there was no more relationship to salvage, there was no money to go and even help yourself or go off to rehab.
Well, that is one of the factors in this whole situation that you find yourself in as well, where you had a vast amount of money.
Yeah.
And you went through it so quickly because you'd kind of got this gambling addiction that was running at the same time.
Well, it's not that. It was like these all went hand in hand. So I'd be, you know, I would be drinking and doing whatever I was doing, and then I wasn't in my right mind. So I'd think to myself, I'd convince myself, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and win 100 grand today on blackjack. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. And then because of
how much were you gambling?
Oh, the gambling. I mean, it was, and this was only ever when I was, I suppose the word is intoxicated. I was doing 40 grand days, like 5 grand hands on blackjack. Like, who did I think I was? I wasn't Brad Pitt. Like, I didn't. Why did I think I had all this money? Like, you know what I mean? But you know, it's money that, and also I had to be healthy and keep up appearances and be punctual to keep getting that money anyway. So how delusional was I to think that it was going to still be there?
Endless supply. And in total, how much money do you think you've wasted?
Oh, it's very close to $1 million. Very, very close to me. Because it's awful. And when I say, and it's not even just that, it's like the behaviour that I was doing. So like, you know, driving recklessly, you know, having no regard for even myself. I didn't really care about myself. I didn't really care. Like, so.
But there's other people on the road as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I'd end up crashing cars. I mean, it's been him paying to get them fixed. So the collateral damage was very expensive for me. And it's all my fault. And that's why, you know, what you said about accountability. I hold my hands up to all this. This was my fault. You know, I'm dealing with the consequences. And Now I want to set it straight. And a couple of times last year, I sat there and I just thought, it's all over for you. You had the world at your feet. But I don't think I've got so much more to give. Do you know what I mean? Let's change the narrative. Rather than keep trying to cover these things up, say, I messed up. I am human, but I won't do it again. And
Why now, though, Jack? Why do you feel like... Because I think you've been sober since Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So we're just coming into February now, so sort of a month and a half, getting on for 2 months, which is, fair play. But why do you think now it's going to stick?
The reason it's going to stick now is because, as I mentioned, there's nothing more to salvage. Everyone else is on their last, they're on their last. I'm on their last chance. There's no going back now.
So you think you're at the lowest?
Yeah, the lowest I've ever been in every way, And it's like, I'm 32, and I'd always have this little argument with myself. And again, this is an addiction thing. You've got two people on your shoulder, but one tells you the reasons you should do it, and one tells you the reasons you shouldn't. And one of those arguments was always, you're only in your mid-20s. You're only, you can still do this. But even that argument's gone now, that the addict was talking about in me. And it's like now, you've got an opportunity to turn this around. You've got supportive people around you. And I think as well, I've got more to lose now in terms of my relationships with my friends and my family. They're better, with Chloe, and we're in a really good place. And I've never really had that. I've not really had that where I thought that's not worth losing. Everything that I had, I always thought, it's all right, I'll get it back. I didn't really care if I lost it. But this time round, I've got so much to lose in terms of stuff that you can't buy.
Yeah.
I've got stuff that you can't buy.
So what are you doing? Obviously, it's not as easy as, right, I'm just going to stop, right? Because like you said, you've got these two voices on either shoulder.
Yeah.
So what are you doing to make sure that this is the time, this is the moment where it's going to be different?
Yeah, I'm setting goals for myself, right? And I just thought to myself, right, what was you good at? Boxing. So I went and signed for a fight, and I'm going to fight on the 1st of March. I thought, right, I want a skill that I can learn and have forever, that no one can take away from me.
And that's a professional.
Yeah. So obviously, I've been boxing as a professional in England. So I've signed with Warren Boxing Management. I've got a meeting with the ball to redo my licence and stuff. I'm fighting on a professional bare knuckle card on the 1st of March. I also, being in this industry, sometimes it's like those mistakes you've done, you're not right for this brand, and people telling you what you're not right for. Yeah. So I thought, okay, what can I learn as a skill that I can have for myself? That's why I doing a master's degree in financial trading, which no one can take that away from me. Then I earned that, and I've done it. I've also gone back to office supplies and stationery,
which is where you originated.
Exactly. So
I'm
back as a pen seller. So I'm doing that because I thought I'm good at it. I know what I'm doing, and for me, having those things, I'm comfortable with it. I've boxed my whole life, and I've sold pens since I've been 16. Stick to those two things as the comfort, because you know what you're doing. You're confident in what you're doing. Don't let loads of different things come into your head and branch off here, branch off there, because that's what happened before, I suppose. I had so many different opportunities. I want to do that. I want to do this. I want to do that, and I never put 100% into any of them. So now I'm just fully focused on the things I'm good at and what I want to do and where I want to be.
And what about Chloe as well? Because she's been incredibly patient and she's looked out for you. She's been through the mill, right?
I love her. I do love her. And I really I see a future. And I want to get married. I want to buy a farm. You know what I mean? That's what I want. That's what I want to do. And I see that with her now. But the person I was and the person I was becoming, that person couldn't hold down a relationship. That person couldn't even hold down a job. But this person, the person I'm becoming, I'm not saying it's all in the snap of her fingers, that's it. It's a lot of work, but I'm willing to put the work in now because I want to build a future for me and Chloe, and I build a future for myself. And I want to finally change this narrative and stop filling it up with negativity and be an example and be, want people to look up to me, because people did look up to me, but now I want them to look up to me for the right reasons.
I think it really helps the minute you have structure in place like that. And I have to say, I've seen the interview that you've done with the newspaper. Yeah. And you look a million times better already, just physically. So it's working. Yeah, you're on the right path.
I know. I'm just going to keep that up now. I want to try and get some abs, I think, as well,
Jack, good luck. Stay on it.
We'll do.
Hold yourself accountable.
Exactly
Think about those people, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. And good luck for the fight as well.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
If you or someone you know has been affected by anything that we've been talking about on today's show, you can find advice and support by heading to the helpline section on our This Morning website. Just go to itv.com/. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning. You don't need to adjust your TV or search for something making a noise. The sound we've just played is exactly what Made in Chelsea's Jamie Lang heard for the first time almost a decade ago, and he's been hearing the same sound almost every day since.
Yeah, Jamie woke up one day hearing that whooshing, high-pitched noise and was eventually diagnosed with tinnitus and was told that there isn't a cure.
Jamie is here to tell us about his experience alongside Dr. Raj. Good morning to you both. It's only when you hear that, Jamie, that you realise just how debilitating it must be.
Yeah, it is pretty debilitating. And look, yeah, my story is that 9 years ago, I woke up one morning and I could hear this ringing. So I searched the whole house to find this noise and then realised it was in my head, which is quite a scary thing. And
frightening.
Really frightening. The upsetting thing is it affects 1 in 7 people. So 1 in 7 people are affected. So I'm a big advocate for talking about it, you know, allowing people to realise that if you do have it, it is a little bit scary, but there are ways to sort of help it. And yeah, and also the hard thing about it is no one can see it.
Yes.
Or feel it. So it's a very solo problem. So you're very stuck in your own body with it.
So do you hear kind of that noise that we just heard? And does the noise that you hear get worse? What's it like? Try and describe it for us.
So it's like a high ringing whooshing noise, and lots of tinnitus is different, right? People hear different things,
right?
But there are certain things, right? It's a problem because the more anxious you get, the more stressed you get, the more tired you are. All this, the louder it gets. And when tinnitus first starts, all you're thinking is about is the tinnitus. Oh, it's there, it's there. So it's louder and louder and louder. So what I try and do is I try and treat it now like a friend, which we were talking about earlier, which is where people have tinnitus are so scared of it, so scared it's there the whole time. But actually, now I sort of treat it as that really annoying friend. So if it's really loud, I go, OK, what are you trying to tell me? I'm either anxious, I'm either stressed, I'm either overworked or overtired. And if you do that with it, it kind of helps it a little bit.
So you can put into context what you're going through, and then that can reduce how loud it is?
It reduces it because basically tinnitus is about accepting it. You just sort of have to accept it's there. It's like I treat it like, OK, you can hear that fan in the room. People on TV probably go, but you can hear the fan in the room. If you think about the noise, you can hear it. But if you're not thinking about it, you block it out. So you treat it like that.
What was it like getting the diagnosis? Because having had that experience of thinking there was a noise somewhere in the house, in the flat, in the room or whatever, and then going, gosh, this is in my head.
Yeah.
And then not really knowing what you were going through, probably doing a bit Googling, but actually to be given the diagnosis and also being told it's not curable.
Look, it's really upsetting, right? And for anyone who's going through it now and it's really upsetting. There's no way to put about it because you think, OK, this is for life. Anything like that is just, you're like, well, how am I ever going to get through this? But I promise you, you become accustomed to it and you get used to it. And your brain and your body are amazing things that actually you somehow you realise how to work around it. And I really just encourage anyone who is watching this or is suffering with tinnitus to try and accept it and not fight it and just say, it's that annoying thing that I have, but I've got, you know, I can breathe and I can hold things and I can walk around. And so you look at the good things and that kind of helps it a lot.
Jamie, how do you think you got it or what caused it?
Well, loud music. I mean, I think...
You think it's...
I think my thing was probably different. I did never protect my ears.
Right.
And the problem with we listened to music so loud, I went to a lot of nightclubs when I was younger. I was not wearing ear protection. You know, London can be quite loud. So I never, ever thought anything of it. Now I just really want people to protect their ears. You know, if you go to a gym class in the morning, that is loud.
Yeah.
You don't have to bring earplugs, but I put tissue paper in my ears. Just somehow protect your ears in certain ways because they're so important, they're so useful. And if you can protect yourself from having tinnitus, it will be a really good thing.
You do, I mean, obviously for your work, you're doing a lot of broadcasting and presenting. So, of course, that you have to be able to think and these things can be distracting. I understand when you did Celebrity Hunted, it got really, really bad. Not just because you were spending all that time with Spencer, obviously.
That's why it was bad. That's why it was really bad.
He was anxious.
Spencer just made me anxious.
but it got really bad during that period.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. I did the show and it was really bad. Probably the environment or whatever, but it was so.
It's a stressful show, isn't it?
It was a stressful show, and the stress makes it worse. And it was so loud. If you were talking, I wouldn't be able to hear you. I could just hear ringing. Yeah, and that was pretty upsetting. And but again, I'm a big believer in this too shall pass, and it doesn't matter if you're the most popular or the least popular or the tinnitus is high or you're feeling low or feeling high. Everything passes, it always moves on. So if you have that kind of way of thinking, I think it kind of helps.
It's a great perspective, isn't it? But Dr. Raj, there will be people sitting at home today that are really, really struggling with tinnitus. And is it 1 in 7, Jamie said as well? 1 in 7,
yeah, 1 in 7. And actually, it's Tinnitus Awareness Week this week. And the report from Tinnitus UK came out, which said that actually 8 million people by the end of 2025. So it is, it's a lot of people going through this. And like Jamie said, in isolation. So it's a sound that, you can hear, nobody else can hear it. And like Jamie's obviously found ways to cope with it, which I think is great. And there are treatments and ways that we actually try to help patients with that. Things like CBT, exactly what you're saying about trying to cope better with turning that negative emotion into a more positive, mindset. So you can deal with it in those ways, but it's hard to do that when every day you're hearing this noise in your ear. And it can be debilitating. And again, anxiety can make it worse, depression can make it worse, and vice versa as well. And it's poorly understood. It's a complex condition. It's not understood very well. What we do know is that inner ear sort of inflammation and damage can cause these sort of nerve signals to be disrupted to the part of your brain which basically processes sound, so your auditory cortex. And what happens is those signals sort of disrupt the sound, and then you get these phantom sounds, which actually originate in the brain, but they sound like they're coming from the ear. And those can be ringing sounds, whooshing sounds. For some people, it can sound like chatter as well, or like music. Really so very, very distracting. And all the treatments work on reducing that awareness that you have of it, like Jamie said, and accepting it.
Yeah, and accepting it, but also I just talk about it. Bore me. Send me a message on Instagram. Talk. It's true though. Just talk about it. The way that it helped me is I have a great friend called Jimmy, and I knew no one who had tinnitus, and I was with him once. I said, I just got this thing, it's constant ringing. He went, I've got that, and I went, you're kidding me, and we hugged. And we just then spoke about it. And when if you're sharing, you get an echo back.
Yeah.
And it's the greatest thing in the world, and sharing it helps.
You've even talked about Chris Martin having it as well. And the day when you realise, he's got it too.
If Chris Martin has it, then we're all okay.
Yeah.
So I Googled who had this thing tinnitus, and Chris Martin came up, and I thought, okay, if Chris Martin has it, then maybe I'm going to be okay. This amazing musician, and
who hasn't stopped playing.
So that's how.
And often I think musicians can get it because of exposure to sound repetitively. Similarly with if you lots of exposure to noise in nightclubs, like you said, or even listen to really loud music through your headphones. So be very mindful of that. If you are somebody who's in the gym pumping loud music every single day, again, it's going to increase your risk of that. And even if you're somebody who's using power tools and you're not protecting your ears, must do that. Wear your mufflers, wear your protection gear to ensure that you're reducing your risk of it as well. Really important.
If someone is sitting at home and they're struggling with it, though, is there things they can do? Jamie's said a couple of really interesting things already, but to manage it?
So, if you've got persistent tinnitus, there's no cure, but lots of treatments focus on sort of awareness and distraction from the sound itself. So things like sound therapy, so white noise. I think you mentioned, didn't you, Jamie, that you use white noise or
whale noises at night.
Whale noise at night,
My wife loves that, but honestly, whales at night is lovely.
Well, on Valentine's Day.
Oh, the whales are playing, let's go.
So you can have, sound therapy, which you have a fan on or some white noise, a bit like what you can play when you've got a little baby, the sort of music sounds in the background. Or you can also use things like a sound pillow, which are essentially pillows with a speaker in them. And you can change the music on them to white noise or whale sounds if that's what you prefer, and different sounds through the night to sort of distract from the tinnitus. Because as you can imagine, trying to sleep with that in your ear, because that's the time when you're quiet and everything else is quiet. And if you've got a constant sound in your ear, it can be very disturbing. So to have some sound over that can really help as well.
Do you struggle then if you don't have the whale sounds or whatever it is to fall asleep?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm totally honest, I can't sleep in silence, which is really annoying because it's just there. So I sleep with a fan on in the room, or my best friend is Stephen Fry, and so I sleep with him in my ear.
The dulcet tones.
Yeah, I know, he doesn't sit in my bed.
I was going to say, does he know he's in your ear?
He doesn't know he's in my ear, but his voice was just so soothing. So find something that really soothes you. Yeah. I have a fan on, or whale noises, or Stephen Fry.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it hasn't stopped the success of the business either.
That's very kind. Yeah,
I mean,
that fabulous
10
post,
years.
Candy Kittens.
Yeah, Candy Kittens.
Can we just look at this picture? Because it's just this.
It's
you went to a
amazing.
big convention. It's a sweets convention.
Yeah.
So this is the original stand you had?
That's the original stand we had in 2014, yeah. And
look at you now!
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, you've got a street.
Yeah, we built a whole house. It's really amazing, and it's an amazing... We have an incredible team, and my business partner, Ed's amazing, and we built it for the last 13 years. And it's just a really proud moment, because I think a lot of people sort of think probably that we started with all this money. We started with £3,000 and built it up, and seeing that stool there to that was really a proud moment, yeah. It was amazing.
Good distraction as well.
And my mum even said, "I'm proud of you." It's like that. And I was like, "Thanks, Mum."
That's the holy grail.
That's
When your mum says they're proud of you, that's the holy grail.
Wow.
Well done.
Jamie, thank you for sharing.
Thanks.
As well,
Yeah,
'cause I think, as you
thank
say, if you can share it and people
For
out
sure.
there understand that you're going through it, and as he said, you can bore him with your messages.
Do
We'd
it.
love to hear from you.
Yeah.
Dr. Rice, nice to see you.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.
Now, when former Little Mix star Jessie Nelson discovered she was having twins with her partner Zion, she was over the moon.
But when she announced her pregnancy to her fans, posting that she was eating for 3, she had no idea of the challenge the world was about to throw her way.
There are complications that come with having identical twins. The type of twins we are having are called monodi twins. I am currently pre-stage TTTS, which is twin-to-twin transfusion. Every time I've gone, it's got a little bit worse. Could lead to both babies dying. But it's just really sad that unfortunately it does come with its complications, which we had no idea about. Unfortunately, the symptoms have got worse. They have to perform the procedure. It's necessary because it's going to give our babies like the best chance of surviving. Just hoping and praying for the best, really. But it's obviously just really scary.
Jessie spent more than 10 weeks of her pregnancy in hospital due to a rare condition that affects twin pregnancies and can be fatal to the babies.
Thankfully, on the 15th of May, Jessie and Zion became the proud parents of baby girls Story Monroe and Ocean Jade, who join us now on the sofa. Alongside them, the specialist who guide them through every step of the way, Dr. Ruan Willem-Sandera. So nice to see you.
Thank
all
you
of
for having
all
us.
5
We
of you.
made it.
You did it.
You made it, and they're here, and they're healthy, and they're beautiful.
Thank you so much.
So who's
Thank
who?
you.
So you, Jessie,
I've
who
got
are you
Ocean.
holding?
We actually just swapped right before we came on.
Oh,
I've
did
got
you?
Ocean, but we still get confused.
So this is Ocean.
Ocean.
And this is Story.
And how do you tell the difference? They're exactly
Well,
the same.
we actually, when they haven't got their hats on, Ocean, bless her little heart, she's receding a little bit, so that's how I can tell. But when they've got the hats on, it's very hard to tell.
So they're 69 days old.
Yeah.
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 And how early did they come?
31 weeks, 5 days. Yeah.
Almost newborn, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
So listen, tell us. Look, every pregnancy comes with ups and downs and complications. So tell us when you realised it was going to be different.
Well, I mean, when we first found out we were having twins, which was just crazy.
Oh yeah.
We were like ecstatic. We was like over the moon about it.
Does it run in the family?
No. So it was a complete surprise.
Yeah.
I mean, I wish you'd have seen Zion's face. He'd like seen a ghost when we found out. But so I had the scan, and immediately we were told, right, the guy that was scanning us was like, right, I'm not going to scan you anymore because I actually need to refer you to a specialist, a twin specialist. And I just thought that was
Normal.
standard, normal.
Yeah.
Next day, went to see Dr. Ruan, and he scanned us. Babies were fine, and then Dr. Ruan sat us down and then basically told us all the complications that can come with the type of twins that we were having. And I just literally felt like I'd been, like, I couldn't believe, like, the percentages and what could potentially happen to them. And I almost felt like from that point, I couldn't really enjoy my pregnancy.
Yeah.
Because I was just constantly worried that something was going to happen. And we were, I think you told us that we can only really take it like 2 weeks at a time, which is just like,
Live your life.
how can you, like, we didn't even want to announce it because, and I actually had a threatened miscarriage quite early on as well.
Oh my goodness.
And from then, even then, I was like, I don't even want to announce it, which is just like, when I think back to it now, it actually makes me feel so sad because it's like, when you're pregnant, that should be like the happiest time of your life.
Yeah.
Like, it's so exciting.
And
but
you
we
want
were
to share
so,
that.
We were so scared to announce it in case anything happened. I mean, thank God, like, everything's gone well. But we had no idea that this can happen with twins.
And Zion, and as a partner, as a man, you want to be there doing everything you can, and yet you're so helpless.
100%, literally. I just felt like, whilst Jess was going through it all, I literally just felt just words of reassurance.
Yeah.
That's all I could do. And just trying to stay positive, even though we knew kind of the risks. I was just really trying to stay positive for you, yeah.
I'm
I
so
felt
lucky I
helpless.
did have him though, because I feel like if I didn't, I'd have gone mental.
Do you know what I've enjoyed? I've
I would
enjoyed
have.
following the story and seeing your relationship, how
Oh,
beautiful
thank
it is.
you.
Absolutely a beautiful
Thank you so
relationship of just
much.
love.
Thank
And I
you.
just was so rooting for them,
Thank
these
you.
babies to come through.
Yeah.
And part of the person who helped this happen
He's
is
our
Dr.
hero.
Ruhan.
Literally.
Dr. Ruhan, can you just tell us about the actual condition that Jessie had? Because I know the baby shared the same placenta, is that right?
That's right. So monochronic twins, identical twins, share a single placenta. And even though each baby has its own part of that placenta, there are blood vessels that join the two together. So in effect, they share a single circulation, which does mean more complications, such as twin-twin. And anything that happens to one baby has a direct impact on the other baby.
Does that happen to every identical twin? They will share them?
No. So twin-twin occurs in about 15%. So about 1 in 6 of these pregnancies.
And what does that mean, the twin-twin?
So
Is that the TTTS?
Yes, the twin-twin transfusion syndrome, or TTTS. That's really related to the blood vessels that join the two parts of the circulation together. Normally, they allow blood to flow in both directions, so it's an equal flow of blood. But when you develop twin-twin, there's an unequal flow of blood. So one baby's getting just too little blood, doesn't grow as well, doesn't produce much urine, and unfortunately, that baby can become severely anemic. But the opposite is happening to the other baby. The other baby's getting too much blood flow and can go into heart failure. And so it's when it becomes significant, it's without us doing anything, unfortunately, it's got a very high chance of miscarriage.
What do you do?
Well, what we can do is to try and cure the problem, because the problem are those blood vessels joining the two together. We can put a telescope into the womb, have a look at the inside of the placenta, identify those blood vessels, and with the laser, burn them away. So we leave each baby with its own part of that placenta, and there isn't this unequal flow of blood between the two.
Cut back to these two. Right?
No, I know. And it's just so mad, because even when everyone told us, like, you're pre-stage TTS, you actually haven't got it yet. It hasn't got to stage 1.
It's only if you get to this situation.
Yeah, I still felt, and every time we were going for scans, it was getting a little bit worse, a little bit worse. But I still felt like we didn't think it was going to happen. I still didn't feel like I was going to have the procedure. I felt like I was a bit like, I don't know, in denial about it. And then when we went, and that literally happened within, like, that happened so quickly. Because I was being scanned weekly to be, like, closely monitored.
Yeah.
And I think I'd come to see you on the Tuesday, and then it was on the Thursday.
So he told you the symptoms?
No, so I'd been told, like, weeks prior to that I had pre-stage TTS, and then every time I was going to be scanned, it was getting worse and worse. And then I'd, like, have my weekly scans, and then right before I had the actual laser, Ruhan had said, like, you know, I do think we're getting to the stage where we're going to have to perform the procedure. And there were symptoms to look out for. It was like if your belly gets really tight, like a drum, if you're struggling with your breathing. And 2 days after my scan, we'd gone to the park, and I couldn't even walk because I was just, like, so out of breath. But it's so hard when you're pregnant with twins as well, because what is normal and what's not?
Yeah.
Like, I was just like, well, I've got twins, so of course I'm going to be out of breath. And of course my belly's going to be really tight. I've been growing 2 humans. And then it was thanks to Zahn, actually, that I said to him, like, can you feel my belly? Because I've actually got, like, I've got so used to feeling like this, I don't know what's normal anymore.
And did you feel something different, Zion?
Yeah, because I'd obviously been feeling it throughout the pregnancy, but at this specific time, it just felt really, really tight. Like, my fingers couldn't go in.
Right.
Yeah,
And
like, you know,
was
when you
one of
press
the-
it, it goes a little bit squidgy. It just wasn't like that at all. And then so I
That was
rang...
one of the signs that Dr. Ruhan had said to watch out for.
So we called, and he was like, just come in, like, just better to be safe than sorry. And then that day I had to have the procedure, and it just was just like...
I felt like overnight, we literally went from pre-stage to, like, have to have the procedure now. And that procedure is not even, like, guaranteed to work. And I think that was another thing that was, like, terrifying. Even when you was just explaining it, it brings back the emotions of anxiety that we had. It's just... Yeah.
So what is that procedure? And then obviously Jessie had you went into labour pretty quickly after that, didn't you?
So the procedure is a fetoscopic laser, and it is a high-risk procedure, and we only do it when the risk of not doing it are greater than the risk of doing it.
Yeah.
And by this stage, because things had got worse so quickly, we didn't have a choice. We had to do the procedure.
Can I just ask, Doc, did you feel like an added pressure that you had Jessie on your table? Like, she's telling the whole world about what's going on. Did you have that added pressure of thinking, oh, we've got to look after these babies?
Actually, I was telling Jessie earlier that when I was looking after her, she was in my environment, so I was calm as anything. Now I'm in her environment, it's a completely different kettle of fish. But no, Jessie was one of my patients, and that's the way we dealt with it. Yeah.
But even when he was doing the procedure, he was just having a casual conversation with George, your right-hand man, and I just remember laying there thinking, oh my God,
Unbelievable,
it's so
isn't it? The calm,
it's crazy.
and the serenity they have.
It's,
when you're in the
honestly,
which helps so much. The medical profession are unbelievable for that, aren't they?
Yeah,
because you're in the most stressful position that you and your family are in.
But you need that.
Yeah.
Like, that's what made me feel like reassured and calm when it was all happening.
How quickly did you go into labour after that?
So after that, so was I
10 weeks?
10 weeks, after that, which was
And the babies had to stay in hospital for a bit as well, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
They were premature.
Yeah.
After that, after the procedure, we had to stay in hospital for those 10 weeks.
No.
We stayed in hospital for those 10 weeks.
So we practically lived in hospital, which was a real journey. But do you know what? The staff and the hospital...
Got to know everyone.
It was lovely. I
sing to
Interesting,
everyone.
isn't it? It's interesting, though, when you spend time in hospital, because it becomes your bubble in a really weird way. You're sort of safe.
Yeah, I feel like if most people you said, all right, you're going to spend 10 weeks in hospital, they'd be like, oh, God. But for me, I don't know if it's because where I was in, like, such a state of fear all the time in my pregnancy, I felt safe to be there. I actually didn't want to go home. Like, when there was times when Dr. Ian would say, like, OK, you could potentially go home, I was like, no.
Yeah. Can you come home with me, please?
Yeah, literally.
What's incredible is you really want to raise awareness for this condition. You've done a marathon. You've raised a load of money. Well done, Zion.
Thank you so much. That was, like, so hard. I don't even know how to describe
At what point was you like, oh, I can't do this anymore?
I think it's like
mile?
going over Tower Bridge. I don't even know what mile that is. But it's like near the
13,
middle.
that's halfway.
Yeah, that's like in the middle.
So good.
And I was thinking to myself, I'm basically dying now.
Yeah.
I've got to do that all over again now.
Yeah. Oh, you did so well.
What was beautiful, Jess was obviously in hospital, but our friends and family put her on FaceTime. So as I was running past and I saw them, Jess was just on FaceTime crying.
Me and Mum were like, oh, you're doing so well.
Oh, I bet you were crying for the rest of the journey.
Dr. Ruan, what would you say if people are worried at all about this, if they've got twins and they're thinking, so what's the best way to educate yourself about it?
So I think it is really, there are plenty of charities and plenty of websites that you can look at, but it's just knowing that there is help out there.
Yeah.
And, there are things that we can do to help even a really complex, difficult situation to hopefully get a good outcome just like this.
Thank you so much.
We've got a little gift for you.
So having a hug during the break, I tell you.
Go and get the gift back.
Oh, that's
We've got a little gift for you. Thank you for bringing them in.
Thank you so much.
Do you want to have a look?
Yeah.
Shall I do it? You're going to love it. There's one each. I love this morning.
So nice. Oh, you should have given it to us before we came on. We could have put them in.
I know, but it's for you anyway.
Oh, thank you
go.
so much. That's so kind of you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having us.
We're going to have a snuggle. Let's throw to the loose women and have a snuggle.
Hi everyone, just wanted to say thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. Now listen, we upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
For all of that, she's built one of the most successful fragrance empires in the world, despite leaving school with no qualifications. And now she wants to help others by coaching budding businesswomen.
Yeah, Jo Malone, CBE, is going to be sharing her wisdom in a new BBC Maestro course, as well as with our This Morning viewers today in our phone-in. Good morning, Jo.
Good morning.
We can't wait to get to this phone. We've got lots of people on the line. Can you explain a little bit about what Maestro is and the course that you've put together?
So BBC Maestro is a whole plethora of people from everyone from Marco Pia White, Trini Woodall, and we're all giving our experience and our wisdom and the adventures and the little hacks that we've helped build us kind of global businesses. And for me, mine is, when they first asked me, which was a couple of years ago, it was like, I never went to university. I never finished school. I've got no qualifications. What am I going to create 4 hours of content. You know, what am I going to do? And I realised that what they wanted was how I thought about life differently and that entrepreneurial heart. And so I teach you in this course how to fill your entrepreneurial toolbox with everything you're going to need to build a business, share your life, raise your kids, teach children in education, all kinds of things. All of these things will be relevant for you.
So what are the attributes that you need to become a successful entrepreneur?
You need passion.
Yeah.
You have to feel it. If you don't feel it, no one else is going to. You have to be resilient. You have to be a little bit like a warrior because, trust me, you're going to fall down. You're going to graze your knees and you've got to get up again and you've got to fight. So you need resilience and that opportunity that you give yourself that says, sometimes I need to fail in order. I mean, how many times have we all failed?
Oh, yes.
But we don't
Endlessly.
talk about that, do we?
And also you learn more, I think, from when you fail, you learn a lot more than when you succeed.
Nelson Mandela said, I always win or I learn. And if you look at life like that, and so I will teach you to look through different eyes in this course and say to yourself, it's okay. And I share some of my worst moments, which people love your worst moments.
Of course, because as we know the headlines of how successful you've been with the businesses that you've created, but understanding how you've got to that success is
Ben, I've
huge.
made lots of mistakes along the way, and I don't share all of them, but I share enough to make people feel that they can identify. The last thing is really important. It's creativity.
Yeah.
So I believe that everybody in this world has a bank account, OK? And it's full of creative currency. And the only one that can access it is you, only you. That creative bank account will help fulfill your dreams. It will help you think about life differently. But that bank account will only go up in value if you use it. Otherwise, it just stays stagnant. So, you know, you've had lovely Martin Lewis talking about finances. Creativity is exactly the same as a currency.
And you offer like really practical advice. You were talking there about creativity, and isn't there an exercise that you do where you take all different items that are white?
Yes.
And then the person has to come up with an idea. Explain it.
So this is if I'm going to be interviewing someone for a creative team. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the child in them. That's what I'm looking for. So I'll get a tray. Everybody does the interviews with their CV. By the way, I'm just going to bring this out. This is one of my treasured things. I was once asked for my CV in life, and this is my CV.
That's a very small CV.
There you go.
In fact, it's a tiny CV. It's a
actually, I've never qualified at anything. I've got no qualifications. So that's my CV.
Have you ever interviewed for a job, though, Jo?
I have, and I sort of managed to waffle my way through and say, give me a chance. But, you know, people get so hung up. It's important to have your CV, of course it is, and there'll be people that within my team that look through the CV and talk through it. But I'm interested in the child. So I'll get a tray of product that are all white, as though it's a canvas. There'll be a tennis ball, kick and change, a white mug, a can opener. What else did we have in there? A paintbrush. And I will say to them, OK, you have 10 minutes. I'm going to leave the room. One, all of them. But you have to choose something, and when I come back in the room, I want you to have sold me a product that you've created in your head.
Wow.
And let me tell you, 10-year-olds can do it.
I bet they can. I bet they can. Fascinating as an idea. Right, let's get to the phone lines, Jo, because there's lots of people desperate to speak to you. Let's start with Melody, who's in Kent. Hi there, Melody.
Good morning.
Lovely to have you phone in. What's your question for Jo?
So I'm at the very, very beginning stages of planning on opening my own doggy cake and cupcake business for doggies. And I don't even know where to start apart from trading standards, because obviously I need to get some, I don't know what you call it, regulatory things. I don't even know how to pronounce it. So if you can help me on that, I would really be appreciative.
Oh, hello, Melody. I'm so happy to hear that you want to create your own business. And two things I love in life, which is being an entrepreneur, and I love dogs. So this is perfect for me. So you're creating your own cupcake. Have you got the name of the brand? Don't say it if you haven't registered it, by the way, but do you have the name of your brand and your story?
I have got one in my head, but I need to run it past my family to make sure that they're happy with it. I have mentioned it to my dog and she looked at me with two heads, but that's
well, first of all, what I would love to kind of just give you a couple of ideas of, my head is always in marketing. So one great idea would be to make a whole lot of cupcakes in, running up to your launch and go and stand near parks where everyone is walking their dogs. And as the dogs come out, they're often sort of hungry, aren't they? Because they've been running around the park and they're dirty. Do tiny little cupcakes. And maybe if people love them and you come back, you could do tiny little cupcake collars that everybody puts onto their dogs who's tried a cupcake. And then you can get testimonials. So that would be one of the kind of creative ideas I would think about. When you're starting a business, you need to think about the name, the product, the name, the strategy, all of those things. So I'm going to give you a little compass now, Melody. All eyes. Inspiration, innovation. So you need to be inspired and you need to innovate and create. Integrity. Now, that's what you're talking about, all the things that you need to do, the legal things, make sure that the cupcakes are safe for the dogs, go through all of their testing and trading. I don't know the governing body that you do that, but there will be people that do. Ignition. So that's when I gave you that idea about standing outside the park and giving them that ignition, that moment. And instinct. What does your gut say? So the world at the minute is going, don't trust your gut. I'm telling you, trust your gut. It is your greatest attribute in business, what feels right. And then package your product, create this amazing story around it, and go and ignite the world.
Love it.
Passion.
Melody, go ignite the world.
Good luck, Melody.
Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Really excited for you. Hope that goes really, really well.
Yeah, enjoy it. Next up, we've got Hannah. Good morning, Hannah. What's your question?
Good morning. I wanted to ask Jo, what would be her advice to reach more customers and how to set up an online shop? And then how could that into a physical shop? Because I currently have a small business startup, which is with canvases and greeting cards, and they have all handmade custom designs, but I'd like to expand that and then expand it into real life to reach more people.
Oh, hello, Hannah. Well, that sounds... How long has your business been trading for?
I'd say over a year.
Over a year. Did it start out as a hobby?
It did, because I always loved to draw and I love to paint, especially in watercolours, which is what most of the cards are made out of.
Amazing, amazing. So, first of all, one of the things I would say is people are always looking for artists. They're always looking for, like, packaging to be recreated. So I would set up something on Instagram and I would take all of your art and all of your beautiful cards and I would take your images and put them onto all different things. So all different images. At the moment, Instagram needs to be very, very emotional and we need to connect in it. So maybe it will be a beautiful greeting card, but maybe, Kat, it was your birthday and you'd had a beautiful label on a water bottle and a wine bottle.
Right.
So you could take your images and put them on different things and create kind of different packaging. Taking your business from online to bricks and mortar to a physical store is a big step, Hannah. It really is. And it means a lot of expense. So if you have that money in the bank, good luck, and there'll be lots of steps along the way. But what I would say to you is, have you looked into all the things that you could do online first? So if you have that pool of money, say you have £1,000, £2,000, whatever it is, could you take that money and put it in to your website and create something more of an experience? Because when you have something online, it's a global store. Look at it like that.
Yes.
You have your first global store you're able to show. The other idea I had for you was to join up with 3-4 other entrepreneurial businesses. So it might be your local art gallery. It could be your local church on a Sunday. Could you put a little, gallery together for them? So think about places where you can go and people that you can share your ideas with, and then take your 3-4 stories and create a lovely press story. Get your local newspaper in to come and tell your story with you. So what we're always looking for is, what's the next step? What's the next step? And it's not always straight ahead. It can sometimes be, look left, look right. who do I know? Who can I bring in and create this story? But yeah, I'd love you to send me some of your ideas for Christmas, and we can start by sharing them on our Instagram. Very happy to do that.
That'd be brilliant.
Amazing,
Yeah.
Hannah.
Good luck, Hannah.
Good luck.
Right, here's a quick one for you. You've only got a minute left, but Beth's asking about marketing. You've already talked about marketing. She says, it says it's from Beth, but it's my wife and I have a small property furnishing and design business for show homes and holiday rentals. We've done very little marketing so far. We haven't really needed it, but now we want to grow more. What do you recommend is the best initial marketing strategy to implement to reach new customers or build a brand?
So I'm going to go back online. So I've got an idea for you. I'm sorry, what were their names?
Beth.
Beth.
And her partner.
Beth and Mr. Beth.
Or Mrs. Beth.
So what I would say to you is AI is going to be your best friend here. So Chatbox, ChatGPT, looking at that. But what I would do is I would set up something visual, again, either an Instagram, TikTok, and I would take one room, and every week you and your husband decorate that same room in a different form. You can do it all on AI. DALL-E will be able to help you with all these amazing images, and it's free of charge right at this moment. We can use these are our fingertips. Change that room every single week and get a wonderful narrative, people sharing their stories. Then what will happen is someone will go, that's such a clever idea. How about we sponsor you, and the cushions that you put on the sofa, you get a cut from. And so you become your own creator and influencer, and you're able then to create revenue, and then you allow your followers to grow, and that's when your business starts to really take off.
Really lovely idea. Really, really lovely, especially if it starts generating revenue as well, because that allows you to sort of invest elsewhere as well, doesn't it, Jo?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, Jo, we've got loads more. We can't
so
get through them all, but thank you for coming in and sharing some of those thoughts.
And if you want more of Jo's invaluable advice, her BBC Maestro course will be available from the 15th of November.
Lovely to see you, Jo.
Thank you.
Have a lovely birthday as well.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
Jo joins us now alongside the Health Secretary, Wes Streeting. Good morning to you, chaps.
Good morning.
Nice to see you. That is so cute. I mean, you can't help but stand up, get motivated, and it's perfect because it's just 5 minutes a session, Jo.
Yeah, I'm quite emotional to see it, on TV and to see the response it's had this morning. We went to a school yesterday and launched it, 44 kids in a room. I just pressed play, and they were just from the age of sort of 4 to 7 years old, and really got moving. All of them walked out with a big smile on their face. And this is what it's all about. I'm so passionate about this. And it comes back to my childhood. Like, I needed sport and exercise. It changed my life. It helped me with the chaos of living at home with an addict and someone with mental health issues. And so I know the importance. And when I connect the dots between movement and exercise and how I felt, it completely changed. It was my therapy from a young age. So I'm trying to, again, continue the legacy of PE with Jo, get young children moving more often and having fun in the process. And I really hope this does that,
And unquestionably, Health Secretary, having a weapon like Jo Wicks in your armoury is hugely valuable, isn't it? Because of the way he can connect with young people and inspire them to want to have fun. So don't think about it as a chore. You think about it as just a lot of fun.
Yeah, honestly, Jo's absolutely right. Yesterday, the kids got involved straight away. It's really bite-sized. You can do it in your living room. You can do it in your bedroom. You can get your family involved. And look, the truth is that if the government had tried to produce something like this on our own, it probably would have been, I'm sorry to say, like boring government video.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I've just turned up looking like this morning. It's like kind of a really good kind of physical manifestation of how boring government can be. And the great thing about this partnership we've got is we're putting some resource behind it so we can make more of these videos and they can be more freely available. But you've got like Jo's passion, energy, dynamism, that comes through in the clip we just saw briefly. You've got, the animators behind it who are absolutely amazing. You see that through the images and some of the projects they've worked on before. Universal have come in to give it great music, and artists have kind of been falling over themselves to say, yeah, we want to be part of this. Because we've got 1 in 5 children leaving primary school with obesity. So getting children active, getting them out and about, and also meeting kids where they are. Lots of them are on YouTube. They're doom scrolling like the rest of us, I'm sorry to say. I've got nieces and nephews, and they're on there like tablets
Devices
all the time. And so if we're meeting these kids where they are and giving them something fun and easy to engage with and motivational, then we're keeping them active, and it, as Jo describes, you know, it helps to create healthy mind, body and soul.
Yeah. It's so funny when you say, you know, you've got Jo helping you out and you're the sensible one. But, I mean, it is a really serious matter. I mean, a third of children are obese. Would you ever consider the weight loss jabs as a factor into that, and could that help at some stage?
We're not looking at them for children at this stage.
Right.
For adults, yes. And actually, there are lots of people in our country at the moment who suffer with really serious obesity. And lots of people have tried, by the way, on some of the weight loss programmes, on diet changes, on exercise. But some people have reached a point where it just feels like too big a mountain to climb. And that's why I think weight loss jabs can play a role. It's really important that you get advice from a doctor. It's really important that they're not just available to people who can afford to fork out what can sometimes be about £2,500 a year for these jabs. So I'm working with the NHS to try and make them more widely available. But for children, I think we can get this right first time if we do a whole range of things, like what Jo's doing, getting kids more fit and active, with schools, some of the work we're funding in schools on PE and games to make it fun and accessible. That's all going to make a difference. Acting on things like the targeting of junk food advertising at children and young people, that's going to make a difference. The work we're doing to make sure that school breakfast clubs, school meals are much more nutritious, that's going to make a difference. So all these things taken together, I think, are necessary to tackle what threatens to be a really serious obesity crisis for our country. It's costing the NHS about £10 billion a year.
Yeah.
Jo, your PE with Jo was such a massive hit during the lockdown because everybody was stuck at home and the kids were able to get involved. Have you noticed the sort of drifting away of children in terms of their fitness and what they're doing activity-wise? And what do you think the government needs to be doing more of to try and get kids engaged and trying to reverse some of the issues we've got with obesity?
Yeah, look, I've obviously visited hundreds of schools, and my only dream is that I could visit every school. But when I realised I couldn't, that's when the animation idea came up. You know, it's scalable and it's accessible, it's free. It can be like 5 minutes at home with your kids or in between a lesson at school. And it's just like, it's just giving more children more opportunity to move. And, you know, we live in a world now where, you know, as a parent, like, I'm also addicted to my device. Like you said, like, we're addicted to our devices, so are kids. The algorithms are so sticky, you want to be on it. And it's like, how can I disrupt that passive viewing on screen time and make it an active thing? So you might do one workout with the kids and you might go, you know what, I feel great, I'm doing another one. And suddenly you've done 15 minutes of exercise. So although 5 minutes is like a bite-sized chunk, it could really be a catalyst for more exercise and more movement. But look, the food thing is that, you know, I'm working on a documentary at the moment around UPF and that's a big challenge. My eyes are being open to something completely different. Ultra-processed food and marketing and all that. So we need to have a talk about that another time.
Yeah,
but
we should.
Essentially, like, it's about education, it's about inspiration, it's about giving people resources. You know, and this is one of, you know, I'm really proud that I'm sitting here with you, Wes, because I would have done this anyway. I self-funded this. No one really wanted to invest in it. We self-funded the first 5 episodes, and I would have done this anyway. But the fact that you've given us the seal of approval and you're helping us get it in front of more people means you believe in it, and it's going to make an impact. This is money well spent. You know, this is an animation that actually is really going to create an impact, and I'm so happy that it's actually come to life. You know, it's been a long time, it's been a 2-year journey. And here we are.
It's fantastic that you're doing it. As you pointed out, I think childhood obesity is costing the NHS £11 billion a year. There's huge issues that we've got. It would be remiss of us not to ask a couple of questions on some other stuff. So
yeah,
we've got
sure,
the Health Secretary here, if that's OK. We've been...
I'll give Jo the difficult one.
Yeah, Jo can take this. But we're talking about our campaign that we've been running for the last few days about cosmetic treatments. We've surveyed over 2,000 women trying to understand what is happening in this really unregulated industry. Over 50% of the women said that they had to be referred to get some medical advice after they'd had some treatment. 15% ended up in hospital, needing hospital care after having treatment. What the question everybody's asking is, how on earth have we got to the point where there is no regulation and these things are able to happen? Because this is, again, costing the NHS millions of pounds.
And it's really shocking. And I take my hat off to the women who've been brave enough as well to come and sit on this sofa, to share their stories in the media, to actually try and make sure this doesn't happen to other women and to share those experiences which have been personally painful and harrowing for lots of these women. So you're right. I mean, because of the lack of regulation, we've basically got cosmetic cowboys that are basically, I would not even use the word treating women, they are practising on women and causing serious catastrophic damage. So we are going to act, and in the coming days and weeks, we're going to be setting out the regulations we're going to put in place to clamp down on this sort of practice here at home. But there's also this issue about overseas as well, whether that's not just women, but men and women going abroad for cosmetic procedures. We've had some really awful stories where people go away, take up an offer that looks too good to be true, to be honest, come back, the NHS has to pick up the pieces, and those poor people are left picking up the pieces in terms of their lives. Got people importing cosmetics as well.
So this is one of the things. So we had Kaylee on yesterday, who was injected with an anti-wrinkle treatment that had been imported from Korea, not licensed over here, eminently available on the internet, eminently available via this practitioner. I just want to play you a little clip of what she said on the show.
And I thought at one point I was going to end up going blind because my eyes were so bad. I couldn't leave the house. I was crying every day. Could barely open my eyes. I could only see from the bottom of my eyes.
Is the expectation it will recover?
They said I've got to wait for my nerves to regenerate. I wish I'd never done it. It wasn't worth it.
So she was driving her little boy to school. She got another baby in the back driving, and all of a sudden had double vision.
We need what is clearly apparent is, and you're saying in the coming weeks and months, regulation needs to come in, but it's urgent. It's really, really urgent. You know,
so you'll see. I mean, you'll see in a matter of days the regulation we're going to take to clamp down on some of the misconduct here at home. When it comes to clamping down on practice overseas, that's more challenging. When it comes to things that are imported,
but unlicensed stuff that's being imported, as well.
That's more of a challenge. But I am working across government to try and tackle it, because and in the meantime, what I'd say to people watching is, like, the thing about the UK high street or online retailers that are in the UK is that you can be confident that the products that are being sold are products that are regulated here in the UK, meet safety standards and are safe to use. Like, if you walk into Boots on the high street today, you can be confident about that. If you're importing things from overseas, you can't have that confidence. And if you're seeing things that look too good to be true, chances are they're too good to be true, and you don't want to be in that situation where you're on this morning saying, I really wish I hadn't done that. So in the meantime, I'd urge people, be really careful about what you buy, stick to what you know at home, and, friends, family, if you're having those sorts of conversations, give people that advice. But ultimately, we've got a responsibility to act and to try and keep people safe. So we'll keep you posted on what we're doing.
I mean, there are also those people who aren't lucky enough to sit on the sofa, actually. We've lost
loads
people.
And loads of women.
There's a chap called Dane Knight who came on the show. Take a look at this clip. He's talking about his wife.
She was a loving, caring mother of 5.
Yeah.
She was loved and adored by many in the community and beyond, which that showed on, on her day when she was put to rest. Yeah, I didn't know it was too late until we got a call from the hospital. I think I would hate to see another family go through, more kids saying, burying their mum, another partner burying their partner. I know, such as Ash, let's say, Faces has been trying to push this now for a long time, which we didn't know, but it's just not common knowledge. More needs to be done.
So tragically, Alice lost her life in 2024. At the time, you said you were committed to taking action against those carrying out these procedures. This is your quote. It's absolutely disgusting that there are Wild West operators practising actually dangerously in cosmetic surgery, putting people's lives at risk, and we've seen that in the tragic case of Alice.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
Dane's going to be joining us tomorrow.
Children.
What can we tell Dane that you've done as Health Secretary since this happened in 2024?
So we're pretty much ready to regulate, to take action here at home. When it comes to overseas practices, that is more complicated, but we are working on it, and I'll keep coming back to.
So when will we get? But I mean, you're telling us there's something coming in a couple of days, but of course that's quite vague as well. When will they? Can you give us any idea what those specifics will be? The regulation, maybe the sort of what could happen to people if they aren't regulated. They're doing these. They are those cowboys, and they get caught.
Yeah. So in the coming days, we're going to set out the regulation we'll be putting in place to clamp down on these sorts of
this week,
cosmetic cowboys. Probably in the next week or so. I always have to get permission from the bosses in terms of when we're putting stuff out. But over the next week or so, you should hear from the government on what we're doing to clamp down on cosmetic cowboys here at home. When it comes to overseas, it's more complicated, but I am working with the team across government and also with other governments around the world to help try and clamp down on this, and we'll keep you posted. But the other thing I just wanted to say, I mean, just hearing Dane speaking there and the thought of 5 children being left behind because they've lost their mother in these circumstances, that motivates me to act. And I hope that for people watching as well, it's just that really the worst possible reminder, when you're seeing things being marketed online, just think really carefully before you take up things that look too good to be true.
There is an urgency, isn't there? Much like what Joe's doing with Activate and what you're combining with, the urgency to get things moving for childhood obesity is really important, as is this. So I hope you understand why we wanted to ask you those questions.
No, quite right, so yeah.
Have you done a session with Wes yet, Joe? Have you done
We went to a school yesterday and we got the kids moving. I was so enthralled with the kids. I don't know if you've done any burpees, but this isn't also just a thing about obesity. This is more than just the external. This isn't just about the body. We have kids with serious anxiety, depression, getting pulled out of school. They're really struggling. So this is about holistic approach. This is about encouraging movement for the mind. Because when you get the mind right, the body will follow. The transformation will come, and food choices will improve. The family's energy lifts. Like, this is so much more than just about body image and weight loss. You know, I think we need to talk about that a bit as well. Because kids are struggling a lot. You know, this will help. This is going to make them laugh as well.
But they can find all the episodes of Activate on your YouTube channel?
Yeah, so the YouTube channel, the first workout went live today. I think it's had like 10,000 views in the past hour. So it's on the Body Coach TV, and then every week there'll be a new episode all through summer holidays. And we've released it now because parents really struggle to get kids moving in the summer holidays. So one a week for 5 weeks. We'll have a little break, and there's more to come. More moves, more exercises, more challenges. And it's really, really a positive thing. So give your kids a chance to give it a go, and yourself. Ben, you're already in great shape. Have one, see what you think, and have a go as well.
I like the idea of the next cabinet meeting starting with a little Activate session. Get the whole cabinet.
Yeah, you won't be seeing those pictures.
But you could do it, though.
It's a serious point, though. I mean, I find like one of the hardest things I've found about sort of the impact of sort of my job since I've taken it on in government the last year. You know, as you know, I went through kidney cancer a few years ago, and I started to get much more active, thinking much more about my diet. The nature of my job means, like, my exercise has suffered, my like, you know, you sort of grab and go stuff. We've been talking about this with Joe going around the country. You just, it is a. So look, I suppose in some ways the great thing about being health secretary and responsible for the nation's health is that my own starting point is a lot different to you two. Let's put it this way. So I'm probably not going to be on the front of Men's Health in quite the way that you.
Why don't we make that the challenge, though, Wes? How old are you now?
42.
You're 42. Honestly, there is no way that you can't turn that round. And as Joe will know, it's not about the picture at the end, it's the journey, it's what it gives you.
Absolutely right, and that's the other thing I just want to say to people watching as well, is please don't think that like it's all about spending hours in the gym every day or getting rid of everything that you enjoy, like a pint with your mates down the pub, or getting rid of like the chocolates and the guilty snack. You don't have to get rid of all of that. Like, just a little goes a long way. So if we can all just get our activity up, like, you know, do half an hour walk a day, do a bit of swimming, like, just every time I manage to get in the pool or go to the gym, it's not just about my waistline, it's also about, you know, my mental health as well.
One last thing, just for the record, like, it is aimed at kids, right? But you could be a 50-year-old, 60-year-old, 70-year-old person at home now thinking, oh, you know what, I wish I had a bit of movement, a bit of music. You've got Elton John. I mean, Elton John, I'm Still Standing, one of my favourite songs of all time. Like, I was at Glastonbury watching him perform the most amazing set. To think that I've got that song on the launch episode. So you're going to love the music. It's a 5-minute little movement break, and it doesn't matter what age you are, it's going to lift your mood. You're going to really love it. And there's little moments of humour. I'm so proud of it, and thanks for supporting it. And
no, you should be, Joe. And honestly, if the government had tried to do this ourselves, it wouldn't be as good as this. And it's really important. If we're going to make a genuinely healthier nation, we've got to swing in behind the people that are doing the good stuff and pulling in behind people as the government. And that's exactly what we've done here. And this is what gives me hope that we can actually tackle the obesity crisis, make our country healthier. It's about a team effort that involves government working, people like Joe, business, civil society, and all of us as individuals doing that little bit day by day, step by step.
Absolutely.
I've just had a message from the editor of Men's Health saying you're on 8 years' time. West Street front cover.
Joe will help you. You stitched me right.
Joe will help you.
The office is going to love the wait till I get back.
It is, though.
Everyone else's day.
It's just for everyone watching, right? It's about breaking it down. Just last thing I want to say. Keep it simple. It's in the day, right? Don't think about tomorrow. It's like it's one workout at a time, one meal at a time, one food choice at a time. It's too overwhelming to think of it. It's like just small, simple things. Sleep, movement, and a bit more home cooking will change your life in so many ways.
Thank you both for coming in. It's great to see you. Good luck with it all. It's going to be brilliant.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
Become the nation's PE teacher, has broken a world record, has been awarded an MBE whilst all staying at home. Didn't even have to leave the house to do any of it.
But if that wasn't enough, Joe Wicks has now released his very own first children's book, and here it is. He joins us today. This is called The Burpee Bears, and it looks absolutely beautiful. I was just going through it. Look at this animation.
Yeah, lovely.
Thank you so much.
It's
I'm really proud of that.
Stunning.
It's beautiful, isn't it? So I've got the wonderful illustrator Paul Howard who he visualised and brought them to life. It's basically like me. If you look at the bear, he's got a little top knot. You know, it looks like me, and it's kind of based on a modern day family who, you know, it's about getting outside and exercising and that connection between movement and our mental health and how we feel. So it's really everything I believe in and I talk about on social media and through YouTube in a children's book format.
Where'd the idea come from, Joe? When did you decide to do it?
Well, it was one of these opportunities that, you know, PE with Joe was such a success. You know, 100 million people took part, and I never planned for that, I never predicted that was going to happen, but obviously my publisher said, you know, would you like to do a children's book? So I had this kind of idea and this concept of a family of bears, because they're quite anatomical, because they can do lunges and squats and they can ride bikes and things. So came up with the concept and the characters, and I had an amazing writing partner called Vivian French who helped me come up with the story, and I'm just really proud of it. It's got a lovely, you know, positive message that you're going to enjoy reading to your children. And at the back of the book, there's a couple of workouts, so there's like a mini kind of wake-up routine and a wind-down routine and a few little recipes that you can do with the kids. So it's really...
It's like a cookbook, exercise book and children's book all in one.
All in one.
It's a bit of a hybrid, but I wanted
good.
I wanted it to be practical. So the story's obviously... It's an evergreen story you can read over and over again all year round, but at the back, you know, if you want to get your kids involved in cooking, I'm just so passionate about that. So they're really basic things like veggie burgers and, you know, fruit salad and a little kind of banana pancakes, but it's practical. And I've already seen kids yesterday, you know, making them with their parents. So it's a really lovely concept to add that into a children's story.
You're going to do more, aren't you? So
yeah,
you thought about what your stories are going to be.
So now I've come up with the bears. So basically, this is about a family of bears, and obviously I'm the daddy bear. You know, always up in the morning, super energetic, trying to get everyone up, you know, and I'm making breakfast and I'm trying to get the kids out of the house on an adventure, because sometimes the kids want to just watch TV and, you know, they want to be on their phones and that, and I'm like, come on, let's go out on a big adventure. And by the end of the day, they're all, you know, really energised, they're all really happy. There's a little moment at the end where they say, you know, what did you love the most about today? And they've all got their little kind of things that they remembered. So it's really a positive thing to kind of inspire. I just want to get kids thinking about that connection between moving their bodies and feeling good. And I had that from such a young age. I really connected with that, and it was always my coping mechanism for feeling stressed and feeling tired and anxious. And so that's what I'm trying to promote with this.
It's interesting, that, isn't it? Because it feels like naturally that's what children want to do. So do you just think, like, as the years have gone by, generations have gone by, we've all become a bit more sedentary, that's just what's happened with children? Because naturally, children do want to exercise and jump around.
When they're doing it, they love it.
I think it's just, you know, it's technology, isn't it, as well? You know, with the creation of iPads and like, you know, things on demand, there's just so much content that can distract us and make us sedentary. So I'm aware of that. I don't really fight and resist it too much. I use the platform. So I've just done an amazing series of workouts of Hey Dougie, like kids' cartoon workouts, you know, to get preschoolers moving. And same with, you know, with Instagram and with social media. You can use it to kind of disrupt it and actually get people moving. So for me, it was with Lean in 15 and with the YouTube workout. So I got people on YouTube moving every day, and it's the same with this book. It's hopefully going to be a lovely story you can read. At the end of it, you know, do a few stretches, touch your toes, lay down and think of something happy. You know, it's a really lovely book.
Do your kids love this book? Have you read it to them?
So I got a copy about a month ago, and I've obviously been reading it every single day to the kids. And
what do they think?
Now they know what's coming, they can predict what's happening. There's a little bit of drama. So they're out making a rocket and, you know, out in the woods, and it starts to chuck it down, and they've got to like build this rocket and hide in the rocket and stay safe, and then they cook their dinner under the stars. And at the end of it, you know, Mummy Bear says, you know, what have you loved the most about today? And the kids are like, oh, you know, I love doing our little exercise, and the other one's like, I love building our rocket. So it's little things I just teach my kids, because we sit down and I say, Indy, what are you grateful for? And she might be like, I'm grateful for my peas, or Marley might, you know, I'm grateful for walking in the park. So I just like that. Someone gave me that idea once. So every time we have dinner, I say, tell me something great that happened today, what you're grateful for. And these little things, you know, when you do it, it just gives you that nice feeling. Yeah, it's nice.
When you read it to your kids, after a while, they're like, all right, Dad, give us away cat, you know?
Well, they're not bored of it. I've been rinsing it, but I read it last night to them, and they're more excited to get to the back of it and do the exercises. So
nice.
Indy, I've taught her, she's nailed a burpee, so she's got the perfect technique of a burpee, which is hilarious.
Burpee is like one of the hardest exercises.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Just doing one is a killer. But honestly, what I love about you, though, Joe, is the fact that you always are in acts of service. You always want to help others, and you have helped so many people in lockdown with people's mental health, with the exercise. What is it that drives you to do that?
Well, I'm really glad you say that, and I feel like my motivation in life comes from helping people. I've always got a buzz, whether it's even went back in the day as a personal trainer, like just one-to-one. If I helped you get in shape or helped you overcome an anxiety or depression, I love that feeling. So I've just done that on a bigger scale with, obviously, with P, with Joe and my YouTube content. But I'm the happiest when I connect to that, when I read DMs and I reply to people and I'm interacting with people who are really using my recipes and workouts. It makes me so happy. So, I mean, that's the whoopee cushion one you're seeing there. You know what happened at your fart gate?
Oh, you trumped, didn't you? You did something. You went live on air.
I'm sure you know what it's like when you sit down and try and let one out. You're about to go live and you think it's going to get muffled by the sofa bit. They can hear it and someone heard it and it went all over the world. But yeah, I'll never live that down.
It's a natural thing to do, darling. It's a natural thing to do.
Especially when you're about to do crunches and, you know, lunge jumps and burpees. You've got to make sure it's done. But I didn't know I was live, so I've obviously squeezed it out before and it was buffering on YouTube and it went live. Sorry about that.
What has been your favourite book to write? I mean, obviously, I know you like this one, but out of all your books, what's been your favourite?
I mean, obviously, this has got a fond part in my heart, but for me, the first one, the Lean in 15, the Red Book, you know, I call it Little Red, because like a steam train, it just kept on growing and like people all over the world were using it. So that kind of changed my life, that book, you know, it really took me from Instagram to a household name to having that book on people's shelves.
Joe, Lean in 15 is fantastic. I've used it loads.
Oh, really? Have you used that one?
Brilliant book. Really good.
I love that, yeah. I love that. Because I was learning, I thought, I want to learn how to do this properly. So I got with an amazing nutritionist called Charlotte who helped me.
Great, isn't she?
And she kind of guided me through that process. But yeah, like, that's the thing, like, I just wanted to do it right and share. When I learn something, I just want to share it. So with the weaning or with, you know, with something about mental health, I've just filmed a documentary about mental health.
Yeah, with Louis Theroux's company.
It was, yeah, man, it was intense. Like, I thought, I don't have any issues. I can deal with all this. I'm fine. But when I started interviewing my mum and dad and going back to my childhood, it brought up so much stuff, and it was like therapy for me. But I know in that content, in that episode, that documentary, it's gonna help someone who's struggling.
You've always been quite honest with your mental health and things like that. When I saw some videos of you online, and I just love the fact that you have been open and honest about that. Yeah. Because people resonate with that.
Yeah.
I think it's good to show vulnerability. It's not a weakness, you know, being open and having a little cry, you know, you feel better. Like, when you're a toddler and you cry, you feel better when you're an adult. And I think the more we can communicate, and that's what this book's about. It's about family, it's about communicating, it's about being there for each other and not, you know, it's not just about burpees and, like, exercise, it's about how you feel as a family when you do something together, whether it's cooking, whether it's making a camp, whether it's, you know, getting outside. And I truly believe that. I believe that we can really have moments around cooking that, I know it's a stressful thing, but you can have a fun time cooking, you can have, you know, exercising can be fun together, and I love it. So that's my first book. But yeah, I want to take him around the world. I'm going to go burpee bears in the US, take him scuba diving in Australia, you know, get him on motorbikes.
I love that cold water therapy going for you.
Oh, the ice bath?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I got into the whole Wim Hof, like, breathing and ice cold showers, and I thought, I want to take it to the next level, so I got an ice machine and a bath.
Oh, my goodness, look at that.
I did a swim yesterday in 17.
17 degrees?
Yeah,
Was it cold?
So that water gets to about 2 or 3 degrees.
Oh,
I love
how long are you there for?
My PB is 10 minutes, but I do about...
10 minutes?
Yeah, that was pushing it, but I do 3 to 5 minutes. But I tell you what, it's not just a physical thing about my body, it's my mind. I feel so calm and I feel, like, mad energised afterwards, so... Give it a go. Start with cold showers, 30 seconds, in cold, out cold, and you see how good you feel afterwards.
Well, listen, it's an absolute pleasure seeing you.
Yeah,
MBE, you've got a new book out. He's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. And happy birthday for your birthday. That's just gone as well.
Yeah, I turned 36 the other day. I got stranded out at sea on my jet boards. Did you hear about that? No. I've got these jet-powered surfboards.
Yeah.
I was out down in Dorset, whizzing through Durdle, having the time of my life with Rosie, my wife. I was like, I'm so happy, this is amazing. And then I got the engine wet, basically the spark plug got wet, and I couldn't start it up. So Rosie went off to save me, like, to get someone, and this boat came past, this little, like, dinghy, and they were waving at me, and I said, guys, like... And they
I need help.
I said, help me. So basically, they spend their lives, they're wonderful guys, they clean the beaches in the Jurassic Coast of plastic and stuff, and you can imagine how funny it was for them to pick me up. They've gone, we didn't plan on picking you out of the sea today, but, you know...
I'm glad they picked you up, Joe.
Is that where you live down there?
No, I live in Virginia Water, but I just went down there for 2 days with Rosie, but they're called the Jurassic Coast Cleanup gang, and it's like guys that just do it in their own time, clean the beaches and keep it clean. So I said, can you imagine rescuing me? How much of a mad day that was for them.
You're amazing. Joe, thank you so much.
Joe.
The book is out.
Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoy it.
Kerry joins us now, and it's a tough watch. I mean, even we're sort of trying to talk to you during that, so you didn't watch it, because it's difficult to watch back, especially when you're being so open and so honest.
Yeah, I think I don't really like watching myself cry on TV, and that's all I seem to ever do these days. I'm a blubbering mess. It's just, you know, it was a really, really tough show to do.
What made you want to do it, Kerry?
Oh, I think at the time, what I want people to get from this show, I don't want this to be a negative thing or trouble. I'm not a troubled person, I'm really not. You know, or car crash or poor Kerry or how depressing it is. I want this to come across as a really positive thing and as a success story more than anything.
A success story because of how your life started and what you went to get to where you are now.
Yeah, I mean, also there's so many people out there, hopefully, who will be watching the show, who have had so many same issues as I have and also as what my mum has had. And I know my mum's at home and she'll be watching this, and my mum looks on this show as a negative thing and it brings up all her bad past. But I also look at my mum as a success story as well. You know, that was a lifetime ago, and look where me and my mum are now. My mum's, you know, she's a brilliant grandmother. She's turned her life around.
Well, you were very open about, I mean, more open than I think even you thought you were going to be when you started
I wasn't expecting it. I
wasn't,
wasn't,
to go so deep. And you did. I mean, you talk about your childhood. You talk about the fact you were the product of an affair and that you had a very troubled childhood. You went into care at the age of 13. One of your first memories of your mother is a particularly tough one at the age of 3. And you witnessed your mum trying to take her own life, didn't you?
Well, my mum done that a lot from... People have to remember that my mum never did anything like this because she was a bad person or the fact she was a bad mother.
I don't think anyone would think that.
I want, you know, because my mum gets really sensitive about this. My mum had a lot of mental health issues. Yeah. And I think also the reason why I wanted to do this show as well, in today's age, it's still a huge stigma. You know, and people don't understand it or get it. They think, you know, you're attention-seeking or you're this and that. My mum had a lot of issues, which she's overcome, and I look at it as a success story as well. And that was something that happened, you know, throughout my life. That was my mum's kind of release of... Even now, I don't understand it, but I'd never blame her. These headlines that have been out, I've had people on Twitter tweeting me saying I should be arrested, I should have my children taken off me. It wasn't like that. This is a lifetime ago. I was a 15-year-old girl who was doing her GCSEs. I was in foster home. My mum once again wanted, you know, she just lost the love of her life who had died. And it got to a certain point, she's like, I don't want to be here, I've got nothing here to live for. And it was like, here, take your tablets. You know, taking them, you're selfish. It wasn't like I sat down and tried to succeed her suicide attempt. It was like, take your tablets,
But you gave her the tablets, you
phoned the ambulance, and I went home, did my GCSE the next day, completely failed, and went pick my mum back up. And that was the last time I ever saw my mum do it.
And I guess you take that story out of context and you write it down, it becomes a very different thing. But this is a long line of years and years and years of a child living with this and going through this.
I think as well with me, it was also a kind of scare tactic with my mum. Yeah. You know, my mum's never done anything like that since.
And something that you yourself have thought, I am never, ever going to do that. And you have quite an unusual way of making sure this never happens. And you've had the girls...
Slitting my wrists.
Yeah. You've had the... Go on.
I went to... when my first marriage broke down, I had a bit of a meltdown, basically. And I was 25 and I went to Arizona for 6 weeks to rehab. And my childhood never, ever affected me. I never got upset over it. And I think that's something I still do today. I'm still a really strong person, and say these articles or magazines, oh, whatever, you know, it's nothing compared to what I've been through. It never really bothered me. And when I went to rehab, it was like you're an onion and they peel back all these layers to get you right down to the root. And you just...
It just came out.
Oh, I've got no goosebumps play. And it's really... You get really connected to the earth and you think, oh, my God, this really happened. And you talked about codependency, whether it's learnt behaviour, is it genetic? And I remember having a biro and I just went through it all, and unfortunately I had a dorm girl sharing a room with me who also slit her wrist that same day. I opened up about it all, really uncanny.
So you saw her actually slit her wrist?
No, she asked me for a razor. I didn't know she was a self-harmer to shave her legs. I just opened up about everything, gave her the razor, and next thing you know, it was like history repeating itself, and I was like, oh, my God. And I had a biro, and I just wrote Molly and Lily on my wrist, and, you know, I went and got them tattooed. Not that I would ever do anything like that.
But one of the reasons is that if you ever got to that point, the first thing you'd do is you'd look at the girl's names.
God, I'm a really selfish person, yeah.
To cut
through their names, and whether it was genetic and it was something that I'm going to have no control over.
Well, it's definitely not.
Touch wood,
No,
you know,
it's
not like that.
Also, one of the other stories that came out during all of this that people seem to have focused on is your relationship. And at the time when you filmed, you were single. And
I mean, the show was over a year ago.
It was over a year ago.
Yeah.
But things that you said about Judge, you said you still loved him, but you're happier on your own. You don't get anything from him. You're back together now. Is that quite difficult for him to hear those things?
Yeah, well, we won't be watching the show.
Right.
I don't want... George and I, you know, we're in a good place. Everybody has their ups and downs and everyone curses each other when you're apart. Mine's very well documented, unfortunately. I'm giving my marriage a go and I'm very happy about that. I won't be watching the show because it's a very... I know it's a success story. I know it is. I know people will watch it and go, wow, I can overcome that.
If you enjoyed that, there's more of the same right here. And make sure you subscribe so that you never miss the best moments from this morning.
Good morning, Phil and Holly. How you guys doing?
How did it start?
It started way back, and when I was in like maybe the 7th or 8th grade. The girls had just premiered Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and I didn't have a favorite at that point. I just loved everyone. They were all so beautiful, so new. They all drove Range Rovers. They all talked on Blackberries. I mean, I just loved everyone until the season 1, and Kim came to New Orleans, and I'm from an hour away from New Orleans. So, you know, when she came to New Orleans and she showed this family and how they were suffering after Hurricane Katrina, and me being almost, you know, New Orleans basically being home to me, it just really touched my heart, and Kim just instantly became my favorite, and it just really took off since then.
And you, I mean, you're on Twitter. You got on Twitter, first of all. You're very vocal on there. You get into a lot of arguments with people. And why do you feel the need to defend her so much?
I mean, I just think of Kim kind of as like a friend. She's just done so much for me and impacted my life in so many ways. She's one of my biggest inspirations, and I just really felt like that she needed this fan base on social media to defend her at all times, because the media doesn't portray her as the best person in the world. And all of my stories that I tell, I just want everyone to see that she's like this awesome person, has the most amazing heart, and she's just like one of my favorite people in the world.
Well, the thing is that we use the word stan at the beginning there, and stan has now become a word because stan is in Eminem's song about a sort of deranged fan, and you've now become a friend.
Yeah, I definitely say we're friends. I call us best friends, but I've been calling Kim my best friend since like I was like 14 years old. So she's been my best friend in my head before she even knew my name.
But the thing is that you can say you're the best friend of someone that you really admire when you're really not. But in actual fact, you are. I mean, she flew to your birthday party.
Yeah, it's an amazing story. Every day I'm pinching myself now because just talking to you guys about it, Kim has done so much for me, and I've never asked her for anything. Kim always offers. Like, she offered to fly to New Orleans for my birthday. She offered to bring me and a couple more fans to LA for her birthday. She offered everything to me. I never had to ask her for anything, so I always call her my most unexpected blessing. She always comes through right when I need her. She's awesome.
So that's one thing, but then it's gone a step further, and you are now sort of working together? How did that come about?
I work on her website. She has, of course, KimKardashianWest.com, and she has a section for memes. And I woke up one morning and her team emailed me and said, hey, you were recommended to help out with the meme section of her website. Would you like to accept? And I almost broke my screen, like, typing, yes, I want it. Because who will turn down an experience working for Kim Kardashian's website, basically? So every other week, I'll submit about 12 or 15 memes for the website, and I just got an email yesterday asking for more, and I do it without a problem. I do it like that. You know, it's something that I love to do, and especially anything that deals with Kim, it gets an instant yes from me. So, yeah, I'll work with her website.
So have you now had to retire from fandom, now that you're actually working together and you have more of a relationship? Is that all left in the past?
I hope not. I mean, I couldn't be like 108 years old and I would still say yes to anything, Kim. My retirement, my possible retirement, it just comes that knowing I've been being a fan in the stands since I was like 14 years old in the 9th grade, and I just graduated from college in PR and business, and I just felt like that if I'm representing these companies, how would it look if I'm on Twitter and talking to people all crazy just because of just trying to defend Kim?
Yeah.
It gets really confusing at times because it just doesn't look well from a professional point. But I mean, it's something that I love doing. Kim is my passion. I love all things Kim Kardashian and her brands, but it's kind of like 50-50 right now.
Well, let me ask you this then, Marlies, because there'll be a lot of people who are watching this who follow someone diligently on Twitter or Instagram or Snapchat, whatever, and they absolutely love them and they're shouting up, sort of notice me, notice me, notice me. How do you get noticed by the person that you really admire?
Everyone asks me for this advice, but when I came in, I just wanted to treat Kim like a person. So many of the fans on Twitter kind of treat celebrities like they're robots. They just scream, "Oh my God, I love you, I'll die for you, I'll do anything for you." And like, if you're a regular person who wants to, not saying it's a bad thing to hear, but it's kind of like, okay. So I just started out tweeting Kim like, "Hey, what's up, girl? What did you eat today? Or congratulations." And she just vibed with me. And I always say positive energy attracts positive energy. And she just connected with my vibe and I connected with hers. And we just really took off since then.
It's amazing when it works, isn't it?
I know, it really is. Well, listen,
works.
send Kim our love, won't you? And it's lovely to speak to you today. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was my pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Thank you very much indeed.
She's a nice girl, isn't she?
Hello, YouTube. For more of the same, just click here. And don't forget, you can subscribe for even more of these amazing videos exclusive to our channel.
She's so boring that she's perfect. She's just, this is it all the time.
That's what she does. That's what she does. And you've got her name tattooed on your calf, haven't you? Oh look!
I'm sorry?
You've got her name tattooed on you.